Cordoba, creator of the Leicester equaliser. El Khanous, how much room does he have here? El Khanous going for goal, and he finds it as well. What a turnaround here at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
4 minutes, Leicester have soaked up so much pressure. Fatawi jinking feet to get beyond his man, and the header from Jamie Vardy makes it 2.
Wood should score. Wood Cannocott. Yes! Yes! Anthony Cannocott has done it.
Tielemans lining one up. What a goal! What a brilliant goal by Yuri Tielemans. The Leicester City fans go absolutely potty.
Ball in behind Damian Vardy. It's 11. It's heaven for Jamie Vardy. Hold the back page. Hold the front page. A Leicester player has smashed the record.
Good afternoon and welcome to Blue Tinted Glasses. And no, your eyes are not deceiving you. Look who's back. It's our friend from down under. It's Luke. How are you doing? Here back to see us. Hopefully, we're not actually going to get relegated today, but what's up, Luke? How you doing? Congratulations again. What's going on?
Thank you, brother. Good to see you, man. I'm happy to be back. Nice to have a little bit of a break. It's been therapeutic, but it's good to see you guys again and talk to everyone on the chat. And let's have a deluded hope that we're going to get a result today, lads.
Absolutely. Well, let's get straight into the news. Duck's going to join us in a moment. Locks is still on holiday, so us boys are holding the fort. Team lineups have been announced. Everyone's going mad already in comments. Just talk to me about what do you make of this team lineup while I bring some of these comments up.
I don't know what it is about Ruud van Nistelrooy. Hey, like he eventually, like after enough criticism, he'll give into one thing and do one thing right. It's like, fine, okay, finally, thank you. But then he fucks two other things up. Like we're all stoked, I'm sure, that Ricardo's playing. He makes us look instantly better every time he comes on. Why he can't say that, I don't know. But then he starts Luke Thomas. Why? I don't know. I don't get it. Like and Bobby donkey over Reed. You know, come on, guys, I'm not keen to see. I come back and he just winds me up and he has to put him on the starting 11. It's like he knows I'm watching and I'm back. But I'm just stoked that Mavididi and Ricardo are starting, but no Woyo on the bench. Criminal. I don't know, man. He's really starting to wind me up a little bit, to be honest with you. But hey, maybe we'll have a better result.
Duck, welcome to the show. And Duck, who is your guest with you today? Shall we say hello to?
I've got my dog Charlie with me here. I'm taking care of the family dog while my parents are away for the day. So I'm home. Last time, actually, I was on a watch-along with you guys from this place. That was over the winter break, but we also played Liverpool away, where we scored with Jordan Ayew and then conceded 3 later to not get a single point from that. But another Liverpool game, I think it's just like one step forward and then always 2 steps back maybe with Ruud. I think finally I thought he had some decent players at his selection. I thought our defense could have been all right if Justin played left back today or Coley stayed in, making up for his disastrous first half in the second half against Brighton. And it is very good to see Ricardo starting. You can argue what you want about the forwards. It's sad to see McAteer's injured and he's not able to start again because at the very least he works his ass off for the club and I can respect that. Whereas I think, the defense, good to see Ricky. Disastrous to see the worst player last week, Luke Thomas, somehow retaining his place with 2 better options on the bench.
Absolutely. Well, what else strikes you as the lineup? So a few interesting things. I guess, yes, it seems like Ruud has lost Casey McAteer down the back of the sofa again, but he's not in the squad at all. So I'm guessing that's a knock. Jeremy Monga is on the bench, so we'll see if he gets any time. Jake Evans in his 10 seconds. That's the last Premier League football he'll be seeing all the time. Aluko not in the squad either. But Ricardo's starting. So I'll come to you, Luke. So didn't even catching up with the recent games, but actually in the last game against Brighton, JJ was inverting and Didi was pushing up to become an 8. And then Justin went off about 60 minutes. Ricardo came on. So we're imagining that Ricardo is going to do the same. We've actually done this against Liverpool before, right in, do you remember, all the way back in Enzo Maresca's first game is when we tried this system. So talk to me about Ricardo and where do you see the challenges of him inverting today? I'm actually just going to bring up the Liverpool team as well while you talk.
I don't see the challenges of him. Like, we know we can do it, and it was really good to see it in that game that JJ was inverting. He looked a lot more comfortable on the left-hand side. He immediately looked like someone that, it was like he finally got to play the position he wanted to play. But in terms of Ricardo Pereira, we know he's confident playing everywhere, but he's the one that's able to do it. But looking at that Liverpool midfield, mate, like that is a scary people to come up against. So players. So I don't know. I think he could do it. I'm not really that fussed. I'm just stoked to see him starting. I want to see people invert more. I want to see going back to the old system that we know can work. And when we're doing things that the players are happy and comfortable with, it looks like we play better. You know what I mean? Like we did it with Cooper briefly. I would like to see what the players are comfortable doing. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Duck, talk to me. So, I mean, of course, when we always talk with you, there's one Dane that comes up in particular, Victor Christensen. Now, he was left out last week because of personal reasons. We still don't know what that was. My suspicion was he was playing League of Legends too long with Duck in Denmark and was a bit jaded afterwards. Thomas is in. Now, someone's put a good comment here, though, which is that, obviously you've got the Salah versus Luke Thomas sort of battle. But Thomas in the past has actually not done that bad against Mo Salah comparative to other players, even though I'm pretty sure he scored last time. So talk to me about that left back position and what is your prediction today in terms of how madly he gets rinsed against Mo Salah?
I mean, he's probably about to drop a massive stinker. Let's be honest. I think that's just being realistic. Regardless of who you put up against Mo Salah, it is likely the player drops a stinker, right? I think James Justin would have been my first choice. I thought he looked rock solid against Brighton on the left back side. They completely stopped having chances down there when we took Luke Thomas off and got on or moved Justin to the left instead. So I thought that was a nailed on right back and left back duo there with Ricardo and Justin, but I guess not. I'd obviously rather have Christensen. I think Christensen would get rinsed too by Mo Salah. So maybe a Luka would have been nice to give a debut, but then again, would have been a rough debut being rinsed by Mo Salah. So yeah, I think we have three other options who I'd rather see play, and I think there's one of them where you can make a very good case in James Justin that he is definitely a better player than Luke Thomas.
Yeah, absolutely. We're just going to get some info out, which might surprise people here, but believe it or not, we actually cannot get relegated today because Southampton did us a solid and drew with West Ham yesterday. It means that we can't go down. Now, Wolves did beat Man United. They beat them 1-0. But also, Liverpool can't actually win the title today either. So I don't know. Let me ask the panel, because what could have happened today on Easter Sunday, the day of rebirth of all days, is that we actually could have been dead and buried. But we will survive today. But the next game is against Wolves. And it's like we're pretty much down in that one. We might even be down before a ball is kicked, I think, depending on what West Ham do.
Probably.
So how do you feel? Is it because you never want to, I mean, it would be kind of brutal, wouldn't it, if we both got relegated and saw the opposition win the title on the same day? Or do we deserve that for just being an absolutely horrendous team? Duck, talk to me.
Yeah, I'll say just shortly on this. I would have honestly not been disappointed if we got relegated today. Like, we would get relegated to an actually good side. I think for me personally, it's just nice to leave this season behind and be able to look towards the future, to be able to know what will happen with Ruud van Nistelrooy if we get relegated today. Will he go before the end of the season, play out the games, and then leave, whatever they might come up with, right? And I would like to start dreaming a bit of what could happen down in the Championship. Obviously, we've done that for a few months now, but the certainty would be nice. I think we are dead set and buried, right? It's all about just what will be the final nail in the coffin. So, let's see what happens. But yeah,
looks like I've got my facts wrong as per usual, and it seems that actually we can get relegated with a loss. So there you go. Never listen to a nil before. We're 16 points West Ham. There you go. Sorry guys, I was trying to be optimistic, but at least we won't see the Scousers win the title and celebrating it in our face. What about you, Luke? As someone who loves to tell people to bend the knee, is that any consolation, or it looks like you are going to join us on relegation day?
Yeah, I really don't care, to be honest with you. I'm like, I'm well going right now. I'm checked out for this season, guys. Like, I'm just thinking, I was talking to you about this backstage. I'm thinking about next season, so many other things and 2 steps ahead. I'm just happy with a decent performance at this stage, because I know like half this team's probably not going to be here next season. I really don't care if Liverpool win it or not. It's got nothing to do with what we do next season. That's where I'm at.
Really? Okay. And Duck, how about you? Already thinking about next season?
Yeah, I think I said a bit about it before, right? My mentality now for these next games is I want to be entertained. I don't want to see us sitting deep trying to defend and not conceding. If we concede 4 goals but score 2 brilliant ones and we play some good football, you know what? All right with me. That'll be fun. I want to be entertained, right? I mean, the weather is grey as hell in Denmark right now, but it has been better. So I want to get into, the spring, summer vibes, just enjoy some decent football, hopefully, where like Bilal El-Khanouch or someone you could hang on to. Maybe Mavididi gets firing again, right? He did that against Brighton, and he's someone who we will likely hold on to. So seeing some of our guns firing for the Championship next season, some minutes for the kids as well. Like, I hope Manga comes on and gets us a decent performance. Like those things to just give me some good vibes and to put some smiles on my faces and get me dreaming about next season.
How do you see the game going other than, I guess, the inevitable loss, guys? Well, actually, let's go, Luke. Talk to me. You do both you guys do the pre-match analysis. So what do you think is going to happen?
I reckon we're going to pull some weird jammy bullshit out just to make my day and welcome me back with Bobby Donkey over Reed starting. I've got Bobby Donkey over Reed to score a brace and Leicester City to win 3-1.
He's going to score an absolute worldie, like a Puskás award-winning goal, actually, just to piss you off on relegation day. The day we get relegated, Donkey D over Reed is going to score a worldie, man. You can just feel it in your bones. And then he'll have to play the full 90 minutes because when he's done that, you can't put Monger on instead of him, right? So no Monger as well. It's all going to go downhill. Let's see what happens. I think we could get a goal, to be honest. I think it's probably written in the stars. We'll get some fluky goals. We get something to celebrate about. And then I think it's damage control for the King Power Group, right? Trying to make sure it's not too toxic at the ground when we inevitably get relegated. And I think that involves bringing Jeremy Monger on just to try and get something to be bubbling a bit in the ground.
Yeah. Planet Earth says we're going to win the league, well, maybe next season, although I'm not sure about that based on how it is. It's kind of criminal, isn't it, that Man United, again, they've screwed us over so many times this season. It's absolutely ridiculous. And it's such a terrible team. They lose again. Let's have a look at what happened in their game. Looks like, oh man, yeah, not too well played from them. What will be your thought? Yeah, here you go. Let's ask for this. I don't know about this, but there is actually a protest today, and they're actually going to be flying a plane over the King Power. Protesting. What do you make of this? I'll go to Luke. You talk to me, because some people think it's a bit distasteful, or is it given such a shambolic season that deserve everything we get?
If they show it on the screen, yeah, all right, maybe okay, but if they don't show it, it just flies over and everyone at the King Power or everyone in the crowd just sees it. That's going to be the most stupidest fucking waste of money ever. What's the point of that? What does that really achieve?
We've spent worse money.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. I love how much, by the way, just quickly, I keep forgetting to say this. I love how much Doc hates Thomas because everyone keeps saying that he's better than Christensen. So he's extra salt without Thomas. It's so good. I've been meaning to say it for 10 minutes.
Can I say, shortly on that, right? I think my problem with it is, I think when you have two left backs who are not performing, I don't think both of them are at the level. One of them is getting praised for giving away a penalty, being told he had a great game while he was being played around like a little kid playing against adults. And the other is being told he's brain dead. And I think that's disingenuous. It hurts me to see you're almost killing another guy for dropping a same level performance as the next guy who's getting praised for it because he's coming through the academy. I don't think any of them have been good enough this season. I would rather see James Justin there today. I think it is just heaps of praise. I know if Christiansen dropped the performance last week against Brighton, he would have been flamed for it. But instead, Luke Thomas got praised for being playing well and being a kid following his dreams. But I guess that's not the same for Victor.
What have you missed, Luke, since you've been away? The duck salt, I guess.
It, man. the duck salt's always good. Everyone loves a good Luke rant, but I've just enjoyed spit back here with you guys and enjoying the game and just having a laugh with everyone right now because obviously everyone else is checked out too and beyond ranting about the same thing every week. Although let's see what happens in this game. That might change.
What's your score prediction, guys? Let's go, Duck. You start. What do you think?
3 or 4-1 to Liverpool.
Well, which one is it? 3 or 4-1?
We're committing to the 4-1. We're committing to the 4-1.
Committing to the 4-1. Okay, Luke, what do you think?
Without joking aside, like before, I'm going to go Liverpool 4 and I'm going to go Leicester City 1. I think that's a reasonable score prediction.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go 3-0 Liverpool. I think, weirdly enough, it might be like that Man City game where when they get up, because they don't really need to do anything and don't need to push, they'll just probably have their foot off the accelerator. And then,
yeah,
I tell you what, though, I don't. It'd be interesting to see how much fight there is with our team. I don't think there'll be that much, to be honest with you.
I think there'll be a bit. I think we've seen more fight these past few games, and it's been nice to see us go back to the 4-2-3-1, which I think by far has been the best working tactic we've had this season, at the very least in terms of the football we've played. But let's see, right? I'm sad someone like McAteer is injured now because he's the players that in this period I want to see because he'll press that extra yard, he'll run the extra meters and do the dirty work, which at the very least, he fights for the badge despite us being absolutely woeful. Whereas it does feel a bit annoying seeing some of these maybe overpaid paycheck stealers just showing up and not caring.
Yeah, absolutely. Just bring the lineup so everyone can see it. Okay, that's the team that we've gone for. Oh, trying to front and look like they care, but not really from the boys here.
Yeah, we are about to kick off, and I do see the players on the pitch. They look somewhat focused, hopefully focused on not conceding 9 today, losing our own record, right? So let's see how that unfolds. I'm a bit excited actually if we get relegated today to see what will happen if the board will make any changes, because for me at this point, if you get 2 relegations in 3 seasons, someone has to take the blame. Something has to change, and if it's adding more structure around John Rotkin, if not getting rid of him, which I think would be the preferred option.
Yeah. Ayew is in the squad, by the way. He's on the bench, so unfortunately you've got that to look forward to. Yeah, I mean, actually, I suppose with the fact that we're likely to go down after this game, you never know. It could be the last time we see Van Nistelrooy in the dugout. Just to talk about that as the game goes, what have you made of his tenure overall? Worst manager in our history?
I mean, the best football we played this season came under him, I will say. That period in December where we had the good game against City as well, that's the best football we played. And it's a bit of a shame to me to see we had the promising start under him that completely capitulated and everything just turned sour. I was hopeful with the appointment. I was hopeful with the football we saw in the beginning. And it's just turned into be an absolute nightmare that none of us can seem to awaken from.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is where I think we're at. I think if you go from getting it so right with Enzo, being prompt with the players when we went down to the championship, we had this internal review, which we all thought was wank at the time, and it looks even more egregious now. What I genuinely think is probably most realistically happened is that we really put all of our eggs in our basket to get Potter. It hasn't worked out, and we've panicked last minute, and that's what says a lot. It's not just that we appointed Cooper in the first place or Ruud van Nistelrooy. It feels like we never have a contingency plan where someone like Brighton would, where they've got a second and a third option already waiting to go when they already have a manager. I think that says a lot, and there's no one that's ever going to be taking accountability at Leicester City because we're doing stupid things like doing self-reviews. So it's really, we're going to find out a lot, in my opinion, about Top at the end of the season. If he doesn't make drastic changes himself, then he never will. And that's where I'll be at with this club right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, pretty grim, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
it's funny though. Potter himself's not doing too well, is he, at West Ham at the moment?
What? He very much is not doing well, right? They've been one of the worst teams in the league since he took over as well. Those West Ham fans are complaining. I'm seeing a lot of annoyance at the people forcing Moyes out the club because they thought he wouldn't bring them any further. And now they've seemed to come back with 2 different appointments. But I think they can afford to give Graham Potter some time. I do believe that he will definitely be able to keep them up next season as well, but maybe not challenge as quickly for where they want or where they see themselves to be. As these first 2 minutes of the game, not much has happened as Luke Thomas loses the ball and gives away a
He's ready for it.
The hate watch has begun. I'm sorry. And it is from that throw in that Liverpool will get their first deadly attack. They have a great chance already, and it could have been 1-0, but the double post absolutely saves us. As once again, Luke Thomas, the building man, for another disaster class.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's just done what happened to Daka the other time. Mo Salah not scoring. Okay, very unusual.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Doc. And Neil's seen me do so much hate watching of Patson Daka.
Oh, he's onside. Indeed, he played him on. That's a let off, that's for sure. Wow. Oh, yeah, sorry, guys. Today, because Locke's not here, we're doing a pretty budget version, so we're not going to have the screen time, but we'll try and keep you updated with the scores and everything.
Yeah, we will do our best commentator's impression, right? And deliver you the best commentary of the worst Premier League team you've probably ever let your eyes on in relation to Leicester City. As we're into the 4th minute. They just had a corner. Nothing really came for it, and they played back. So it doesn't seem like they are rushed. They probably feel like the goal will be coming sooner rather than later. So the tempo isn't that high. It's not interesting so far, but I mean,
we're just sitting back already, aren't we? Which I suppose is not a surprise, but
yeah, I do think that's fine though. If we can avoid conceding in the first 10 minutes, right? It'll be all right. Again, just don't get us embarrassed today. Play some decent football when we're on the ball and don't give chances away far too cheaply. And I think I'll personally be satisfied.
what have you made of Liverpool this season? I think they're pretty worthy champions. What about you?
Yeah,
Definitely, mate. I think it's
yeah.
impressive what Arnslot's done.
Yeah, very. Although I
It's been
feel a little bit sorry for Nuno Espirito Santo. Like if Arne Slot didn't win the title, we'd probably have got Manager of the Year. But it is impressive. Like where did Liverpool finish last year? Was it fourth or was it third?
They got top four at the very least. I do believe it was third,
Okay.
if I'm not mistaken. But who knows? There's actually a decent bit of play here. It's now Dico Reed on the right, who has a bit of space to run into. Could look to get the cross in, tries to dribble, but dribbles himself instead. As Ndidi will now put in the cross. It's a good run from Bilal El-Kanouche, but he can't connect with it on the end. As Mavididi wins it high up as well. Conor Bradley caught out here. As is that a goal kick? I do believe it is. As he somehow scruffles the ball over the line.
How a Codian phase professional. Yeah.
I can't believe Dico Reed triples himself there. Unbelievable. But a pretty decent cross, and it's a nice run from Bilal El-Kanouche. And, nice to see some high pressing from Mavididi. Sadly, he couldn't get the shot or the pass off before it wobbled out to that goal kick.
Happy Easter, Peaches. Hope you're well. What's that, Luke?
Do you think that I've been saying this for a long time about Stefan Mavididi and how isolated he looks and how much I think he misses having Dewsbury Hall playing close up alongside him and in our build-up play. How much do you think Bilal playing higher up the pitch quite close and working well with that Mavididi had a part to play for him having a successful game?
Oh, it was massive. That was the main reason, I think. And then one thing I thought was interesting is how actually Dewsbury Hall and Mavididi used to get in each other's way. But interestingly enough, because Bilal was more of a creator and he drops deep, they didn't actually get in each other's way. So, oh my God, there's Conor Cody there, poor pass out.
In the build-up. We get a cheap free kick, maybe Dico Reed sticking his bum out like Jordan Ayew, and it does win us that free kick. I mean, I'm going to say something controversial here in terms of the Duck vocabulary, but despite those first 2 minutes hiccup where he almost gave away a goal, Luke Thomas did actually do well the next 3 minutes. That's big coming from me.
Counting the minutes of how good we are.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta make the most of it, right? As we win the ball with Ricky P, who, I mean, he could definitely advance the ball.
So far, he's not really inverted much. So it'll be interesting to see if he does. I was going to say, I mean, it is a dangerous team, obviously, to try it against with.
And will we get the consistent of possession, right, to make it work? So it will be hard to see. We'll see, though.
Have we had one game this whole season? I don't think we have, where JJ and Ricardo Pereira both started simultaneously.
No.
Why the fuck not? Why is that so hard to figure out? Why have we not got JJ playing as our left back if we're not going to have people inverting instead of Luke Thomas as criminal?
I mean, on paper, it's because Justin's not left-footed. But I mean, as I said last week against Brighton, when JJ was playing at left centre-back, he just looked so much more composed. He knew where to stand. He knew how to help out. And I think also, when we play that system, you're not really in the Premier League expecting your left centre-back to do that many advances into attack or crossing the ball. Because I suppose that last year, that left centre-back would be making the diagonal passes into Abdul Fatawu, but I'm not really seen that too often this season.
I don't know about you, but I'd so much rather have...
Yeah, well one.
Go on.
Oh, unlucky.
I'd so much rather have JJ doing his short and sweet and effective like passing, like very similar, like you said, where he knows where to be, ingrained into the system or what. He looks so much more composed, like you said, on the left side. I would so much rather that because let's be honest, Luke Thomas and Christensen are not setting the world alight of their ball distribution.
Is that a corner?
Yeah,
I think Thomas has defended that, yeah.
Luke Thomas, though, deals with that ball pretty well. Doesn't allow it to get in. I mean, actually, after the first made the mistake, he has actually played all right so far. I mean, he's not been that easy to beat. He seems a bit more physical than we've seen him recently. Like, he's definitely staying close to Salah. Probably an instruction, but doing well.
I mean, as I say, in the past, he's not done too badly against him. I mean, you're obviously talking about the easiest player of the season award in recent memory, I guess, since Haaland. But in my opinion, it's actually even more impressive than Haaland, right? Because he's not just flat track bullying it.
Maybe it is Luke Thomas is the kryptonite of Mo Salah. As the cross comes in, Van Dijk hits it wide, as he's doing his best here to try and keep Mads Hermansen what will be second clean sheet of the tournament if he manages to keep this. The last one in October against.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, also at home though, but yeah.
Oh, Van Dijk got to it first.
In a corner, but
off phase.
We take the goal kick. This is a boring start so far. Not much has happened, but I think we take that, right? You're playing Liverpool
Yeah.
at Liverpool at home. They're about to win the league. You can definitely accept that.
Well, chat can answer this for me. What happens if we draw? Do we stay up if we draw? I'm guessing we do.
But who knows? As Mavididi now
Mavididi.
on the left. Even in the Premier League, Mavididi.
Oi. Go on, Steffi. Go on.
And now he has the shot for himself. No, and Didi picks it up
Did he?
himself and shoots. Oh,
Oh,
but yet
Leicester
so far,
hit the post. Wilfred and Didi.
works it out to Cordova-Reid, who dunkily throws it away with a wayward pass. And now on the counter, that's what Liverpool likes. Look at the pace here on DSS. He skips past about fast, plays a beautiful
Oh
ball.
no! Now in transition.
Number 18 is that Cody Gakpo, I believe, who will be looking for someone in the middle. It's Mo Salah at the back post, who great save by Mads Hermansen is denied, and it's back and forth. Keeper though stepping up as, actually decent shot.
I wish Ndidi scored just so that I could message Kate, because Kate for some reason hates Ndidi. Thinks he's just a donkey. That's a great strike left foot. That's so unlucky. So unlucky.
Cordova-Reid is starting as well, because what a
Hits it true left foot. Oh.
Liverpool still in the attack though. It's Cody Gakpo on the left hand side here, passing it into, is that Tsimikas, I do believe, number 21.
Yeah, it is. It is, because
He's
Robertson's out for the season, I believe, with Liverpool.
Oh, he is. I was not aware actually.
Ethan, I agree with you what you're saying about Thomas, but I think, to be fair, that was on transition, so we were kind of scrambling.
Yeah, it's fair enough, right? It is fair enough. He could have done better there, but luckily he has Mads Hermansen to help him out as well when in times of need. And we all need a Mads Hermansen in our life every now and then. I will say we've been more sharp, I feel like, with our decisions to take the shots, and we've been more precise with them, hitting more post and getting them closer to actually becoming goals than we did in the past. Maybe let's say 10 games. It's nice to see.
No.
We are trying to raise the tempo a bit of the game. It feels as a horrible first touch come through from Bilal Kanoush could lead Liverpool on the attack here, as it's Gravenberch who plays it out to someone on the right who I can't exactly see. It's a header over the bar though from, was that Connor Cody who extended it, and it's a corner again for Liverpool.
I was going to say, Duck, do you mind putting the volume up a little bit?
Yeah, I tried, but I'm not. Let me know if it goes through to the stream as well, because
Yeah, it has now. Yeah.
I think we'll have to take the game audio off, but it has been a bit quiet having it turned off. I just didn't want to risk it, as that corner goes out to a goal kick again. They've not been sharp so far in their attacks, except for the chance before Mo Salah, you could say, and the 2-minute shot actually as well that hit both posts. A bit of luck going our way, which is nice to see, because we haven't had that for much of the season since Cooper left.
Yeah, feels like it's just a matter of time though. But I mean, I will say this is the big thing that we said in the last game, which is that when we play this way, at least we ourselves have an opportunity to score.
Hannes Slot, man, he is beautifully bald. His shining head, man, is there is
the not bald fraud, bald genius.
Yeah. Ooh, this is a bit of a transition, actually, as Luke Thomas gets a strong win to stop what could have been a dangerous...
Almost messed it up, but
almost.
Cody back to Hamads. Mads pumps it long. Kate was just going mad. She said to me, the most dangerous pass in football in minute 1 of this game. I don't know if you caught Good Morning Foxes, but there was a big debate on style of play. I was calling it blue tinted dinosaurs, but it's funny how currently in England there's quite a rebellion against sort of passing out from the back and the systematic nature of the game at the moment.
I will say I didn't catch it. I was out late last night.
No worries.
Yeah, pre-celebrating the relegation.
Guys, would you still want Hamza and Suter next season, or do you want to get rid?
Get rid, man. Get rid. I think we are beyond that now, right? Then Nelson's been getting praised for Oxford. I watched him one game when they played against QPR, and he looked pretty good in that. He was definitely not at fault for the loss that Oxford had.
You need a squad, though. Remember that.
Yeah. We need the squad depth, but we have 34-year-old Yannick Vestergaard, right, to fulfill that, because I doubt anyone will take him off our hands.
You never know. He might. I wonder with that, if an offer came in, someone to loan him for a season, but we pay half the wages, would you take that or not?
I would.
Because the thing is, I will say, is that even though he was very good in the Championship last season, because he's slow, I do think that it's, oh, great. Oh, a nice attempt by them, Avadidi outside of the foot pass. Is that because he's slow, it actually means that when we attacked with Enzo, we slowed the attack down because he was scared that, like, if we got caught on transition, we didn't have the pace to get back. Whereas you obviously see with a Coley in the team, you can take a bit more chances going forwards because you've got someone who, especially as the strikers aren't the fastest in the Championship. So I guess what I'm saying is, for me, I really, even though he's a good player in the Championship, I don't want us to start Vestergaard just because I think it's the temptation will be there to use him and let him go into the first team and it will catch us out. I think we need to be giving the minutes to the players where, like, I mean, for me, how it should go is that you give Ben Nelson the first 10 games and then let's say he's struggling, then maybe you bring one of the others in for the experience. Because at the same time, we don't want a Danny Ward situation where it was obvious after 5 games that he wasn't PL standard, right? But yeah, at the same time, just that, I don't know about you guys, but what like kind of scares me is we line up next season and the starting lineup is IU, is Bobby Reed, is Cody, is Vestergaard. Have we learned anything, Yeah,
that would be a bit disappointing.
Yeah. As it stands, though, we made it 15 minutes into the game. It's still 0-0. Luke Thomas with the throw. Gained some territory there.
I think we need Sutar, to be honest with you. I would much rather have Sutar than old Vestergaard and old Connor Cody as cover. Obviously, yes, I want to start with Coley and Nelson. But, like, to be honest with you, in terms of depth, I would much rather Sutar. He's got a lot more gas in the tank. But then again, I say that he's had 2 major injuries, so I could be totally wrong. What has he just done his Achilles and before that he done his ACL? That's actually.
I believe he won't actually be back till around November time, is what I've heard.
Oh, Sumari here. Skipping past
you know what?
one.
You might be right, actually.
Yeah, unlucky. Like, he basically had a years-long injury, but he did it in January. So, yeah, bless you. It's not like
he done his knee as well.
Really? Wow.
He done his ACL before that. I'm going to pull this up, actually, because I think I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. And if that's the case, then yes, then definitely maybe we're going to have to get rid.
Well, I probably won't be able to. Not going to be many people that sign a player with that sort of injury record. But
we have a deep free kick here. The cross will come in. Jamie Vardy tries to extend. And
another shot on target.
I wonder if that was one of our players, one of the Liverpool players trying to get
it looked like it did come off someone.
Yeah, didn't see who, but our set pieces have looked more dangerous, I want to say, in the past few games. I think our corners have been horrible for most of this season. And I do believe it's less about the tactics, but just not having a solid enough take-up. Bilal Kanush hasn't been brilliant at that.
No.
But the deep free kicks have actually worked out pretty well these past few games. Scoring from it in the Brighton game and, creating a chance here, which is nice.
Yeah, Jordan Ayew was taking corners at one point, says it all.
Yeah. I mean, his free kick for Ghana was pretty good the way he scored. Ooh, this could be dangerous, actually. Liverpool on the attack in the 18th minute, but 3-man on Tsimikas will buy some time as Rakpo now.
He done his ACL playing for Australia.
Really? Okay. Way with Liverpool. Yeah. Is Coley likely to stay and not kick up a fuss? As I think a year in a championship will be good for his development, assuming he gets on the pitch. I think a lot of our signings were made with the knowledge that we could go down. Like, I certainly think Coley and Skip were made of that, although Skip, don't get me started. But there has been some interest in Italy with Caleb Coley. And I think it is sad that he had a half-decent game, but he's out of the team today.
Well, I've never seen him have a bad attitude. He looks well up for it. He celebrates saving goals. I think Coley, will stay. He was on loan at Serie B, I believe, last season. Yes, or like much lower end teams.
No, top league. It wasn't a top league he was playing.
Okay, well then, maybe I'm wrong, mate. I think he will. To be honest, if you stay in the championship, Woyo is a much better option as well. Him and mine, Skip. This is what I think. I think we paid too much money, but I still do think there's a player in there. It just doesn't match the price tag. What I think could do a world of good for Skip is to actually not go to the championship, is to actually maybe possibly go on loan somewhere. A manager's going to put an arm around him, get him confident playing again, where we can get a somewhat return on value when he comes back, whether we get promoted or not, to another team and get some value back. I think that's the best option for Skip, is to get him a loan move.
Really?
I don't think he'll stay. Yeah, I think that's the only way we're going to get some of our money back in a better, in my opinion.
Oh, nice move.
Oh,
Vardy on the ball. No, it's
Who's
Canoe, sorry. All right, go on. What can you do?
the cross, but there are very few blue shirts in, and
No,
wins
he's
the
won a
free.
free kick, though.
Very
Mo
nice decision.
Salah.
Let's see what happens with this. Last time we slipped a bit on the free kick, we ended up scoring
Yeah.
from, and definitely set something up here. It's I mean, it is it's a bit of an acute angle, but you can definitely get across, and maybe a bit of a corner light, you can call it.
I mean, we scored off Bilal's free kick last time round, so
Yeah,
maybe he
not as
fancies it.
cross though, but it is a bit more of a tight angle, but can definitely get it in the mix
Yeah.
at the end.
Yeah, it's more like an extended corner almost, I'd call it. But
Almost, yeah. As Thomas and Canu stands over it, we can only pray that it is Canu who will take, which I think is the likely option, as Thomas though does get back looking quite serious about it, but my mind won't be fooled. Bilal Canu likely just to whip it in. All the big boys are in as well. Let's see if they can rise their head to it, as it is whipped in by, I think, Luke Thomas, and Connor Cody throws it back into the mixer, but no one is there to
not the
connect.
worst set piece. I can see the plan there. It didn't quite come off.
When the ball back,
Samari? No, Samari's giving it away.
That's
Oh, no. Ball straight over the top. But I think that is Luke Thomas who's dealt with that there. Ndidi ball over the top, tries to find Mavididi. No, Connor Bradley's got the... Oh, but Bradley's been robbed by Mavididi. One on. Fair play, Thomas.
Yeah, he's actually had a decent game so far. I will definitely go with that.
Yeah, I always thought that's why we did the business we did in the summer. They thought we'd be buried by a points deduction and relegation was a certainty. Yeah, I think they thought that could be the case, but I still will maintain that the IU and Bobby Reed signings were poor. But Reed, maybe I can imagine he probably won't kick up a fuss playing in the Championship because he played in the Championship quite a number of seasons with Fulham. But
Luke Thomas was a long throw here, guys, as it looks to be extended by Connor Cody again. Instead, he fails to get his foot on it, and it's just kicked out. And Ricardo Pereira will pick it back up, and no really easy way to rebuild this attack. But I mean, Liverpool not under a huge amount of pressure, but definitely not been on that top level today. We've been able to
absolutely
keep a bit of Connor Bradley in particular on the right hand side. I believe it is right. Is under trouble.
Yeah. People have been saying with Liverpool that they've been good, but they have kind of been coasting in recent weeks. Be interesting to see. Sometimes the season does take it out of you, and you do run out of gas towards the end. I definitely feel that since they went out the Champions League, while they've still been consistent, they've not quite hit the heights that I think they were really good around turn of the year sort of thing. They were
they were unbeatable then.
Yeah.
It does feel like a very much coasting Liverpool, but yeah, coasting towards the title, and you can't take anything away from that. Brilliant at times this season. As they win a few second balls here, and that could lead to something as they try and progress the ball up. Conor Bradley has a Mohamed Salah to his assistant as Luke Thomas jumps out. The ball gets played through. Conor Bradley now in the process. He tries to put the cross in. Someone kicks it out, I believe. Conor Cody gets a foot on it, and we finally have a bit of breathing room again.
That was a beautiful drag back. Does anyone believe Liverpool will defend their title next season? It's an interesting one because what's interesting this season is that so many teams had a bit of an off season. Like, I've got to be honest, even though they did amazing in the Champions League, Arsenal in the league really disappointed. Like, they've been waiting the last 2 seasons for Man City to slip up, and they had the mother of all slip-ups, and they themselves kind of fell away a little bit.
They had a huge slip-up too. I do think, though, in general, the top teams have gotten stronger, right? You have your Newcastle, your Aston Villas. All of these teams are consistently now playing Joker up there, and it does, I think, make it harder to see what we had in the 98 and 97 point season with Liverpool and City 5 years ago, whatever now it is, right? 6 years.
For me, the scary thing is the mid-table teams. It's like these teams like Fulham, Brentford, Crystal Palace. I mean, they're absolutely no joke. They can,
Fulham
nice. Ricky on the ball. Oh, this is nice play, playing through the traffic here. Oh, phase with the... Oh, this worked to the diagonal. He's found Mavididi.
You slagged him up.
No.
Really good. I mean, excellent pass otherwise, actually. Beautifully pinged. Almost a volley as well. A half volley you can call it, but Mavididi,
he should have. It's a bit late. Yeah, we are targeting Bradley. That does seem to be their weak link so far.
And our strong one as well, right? So it's a pretty good matchup on that left-hand side with Bilal Kanoush and Mavididi.
Yeah. Well, and with just Bobby Reed on the other side, you don't really see him beating his man too
What do you
often,
want to do there, right? Except for slowing down the play.
Yeah. give it Monga last 15 minutes and maybe he can
More. I want some manga madness. See here though, Liverpool on the ball now as Rodrigo against Ricardo Pereira, and we know who wins that. That's my goat, Ricardo Pereira, who just gets it out for a goal kick. He's been solid so far.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so they've actually got Luis Diaz as the furthest man forward. Is that something that they rotate around Liverpool, I guess?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Oh, the most dangerous pass in football from Kate there.
Vardy struggling to have an impact, being essentially man-marked when we try to play it up to him. He's not seen much of the ball this game, to be honest.
It's funny, a few comments here, doing well in defence, 25 minutes. I mean, it's this is a reasonable display, to be honest with you. Even if we end up losing the game, it's a shame that so many other games we can't even reach this standard. Where is Locks? Locks is on holiday at the moment. He will be back next week. So you'll have to do with us, sorry.
It is still, though, Liverpool sitting on the ball now. They are trying to slowly build up something as Ibrahim Konate takes a few meters up to Mohamed Salah as it's right back. And now probably they look to change side it as Virgil van Dijk. And Alexis McAllister finds himself in a bit of room. Could pass through to Diaz, but you're closing it down very well. I think that is a horrible free kick. That is never a free kick, man. Why is that given? Great tackle.
That seems harsh to me. Will Vardy be in your squad next season? That is an interesting question. We don't know is the answer. Chip says, I think Vardy staying this season hurt us, to be honest. He's not good enough, and they probably didn't sign a striker because he stayed. I hope he retires next season as much as I love him. Yeah, look, I don't know why he's been starting, to be honest. I've said that the whole season that he's definitely worth a squad place, but when you see him slow down the attack because of his lack of pace. Okay, Liverpool in a dangerous position here. I know that Dominic Szoboszlai can hit him from here, that's for sure.
He's unbelievable on the free kicks.
Yeah, I mean, he's hit some worldies against us, hasn't he, already? This
steps up and drills a low ball right into the waiting hands of the great Dane Hermansen. And now, could we be on the counter here as Luke Thomas almost slips, but recoups himself nicely and plays a good ball through to Ndidi, who awkwardly gets it up to Jamie Vardy, whose first touch is not good enough, and the ball is back in the Liverpool hands.
That was excellent defending, though, from Liverpool. You see how much pressure they put under us right away. Didn't win it on the first contact or even the second or the third, but the third they did get it. Just good pressing all round, good structure. Yeah, it's interesting how the evolution of Liverpool in recent seasons is they are happier to be more patient.
Mohamed Salah on the back post.
I don't like how Tsimikas just had a completely free cross there.
Yeah, it was a bit too free. You could overread not marking his man tightly enough.
Yeah.
And that's the reason for the free cross. It's greatly delivered, nicely delivered.
Yeah. Salah. Someone like Salah will be disappointed with that, even though it's only half a chance.
Hermansen, though, looks pretty pumped up, and maybe the ambition of potentially keeping a clean sheet is what keeps this guy going. 4 corners for Liverpool. This is the fourth we're about to watch as it does get thrown right into the box, and it's Virgil van Dijk who almost finds it instead. Could we be something on the counter here? The ball falls up, but it's a bit of an awkward bounce as Mavididi tries to pick it up, finds himself surrounded by 2, but gets it out.
Wins the ball. Leicester throw.
I mean, we've definitely done all right heading into almost the 30th minute now, right? I think.
Yeah. We're starting to lose our threat going forwards, though. We did have that a little bit earlier in the game. I feel like Liverpool are definitely firmly in control.
It's in moments.
But yeah, Mavididi looks lively, you've got to say.
Long throw from Thomas, finds no one as Liverpool. Kick it out for throw.
One territory. That's your classic rugby style line out when you're just trying to gain some territory.
Gaining the yards and the meters here, whatever you want to call it. Salmon's now back on the ball. We're trying to build up a bit more from defense now as Ricky has started inverting more.
Yeah, you're right. He has. He didn't really do it the first 15 minutes, but he's
surrounded by 3 and loses the ball, chases it back, and is that McAllister in the middle? I believe no.
Oh my goodness, referee is. Yeah, why is Reed in the starting 11? It's
I like this. Fucking snap him in half, boys.
Has Locke hung up the boots? No, he's just taking a week off. He's on holiday at the moment. He will be back soon. Oh, you Locks lovers, don't you worry. Although I will just say, it's interesting that Locks decided to take a holiday on the day that we could get relegated. Conspiracy theories.
Yeah. Here's Locks, John Rocket. I've never seen them in the same room, right? Maybe.
That Bradley looks like that creepy kid from that program that everyone's watching, Adolescence, that Stephen Graham. It's like the grown-up version of that kid.
This is a pretty dangerous free kick as well. McAllister stands over it and will look to put it in the box here for a header to meet it. It is Luke Thomas, actually, who throws it out wide as Bedal Kanush will pick it up and try to beat his man, but it's a weird sliding tackle, almost a knee slide into the knee.
Just tried to murder him, bro. It could have been killed, bro.
It is such a weird tackle. I do believe he will be fine. It definitely was just on, what do you even call that in English? Your skinnebeen in Danish. Little lower leg there. Where you have your shin pads.
Shins we call that.
Is it just your shin? Okay, it's called a shin, yeah. So he got hit on his chin. Maybe he's one of these modern players with a shin pad as small as a little pea. So
yeah. The ones that make me laugh are like Jack Grealish and Tyler Dibbling. They just have like...
Liverpool has had so much of the ball recently, but 32nd minute they haven't managed to score yet, and that is...
Yeah, we're frustrating them for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Do they have any power on the bench to throw on today if they want? I'll check out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
They got the mighty Darwin Núñez on the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not really a secret weapon, is it? Actually, Andy Robertson is on the bench.
Oh, he is? I thought he was up for the season.
Yes. Robertson.
Jones, he scores against us. Harvey Elliott, good player. Diego Jota, Darwin Núñez. I mean, they've got a strong bench.
Yeah, they've got a strong bench. Jota's with Jesus fucking Christ, man. I'd take any of those games to us in a heartbeat, man.
Yeah, do you remember him scoring that hat-trick against us, against Wolves in that crazy 4-3 game?
Luckily, I've forgotten all about that.
No. You reckon Núñez scores today?
On my app, by the way, it says that Edward is injured. I don't know if this is correct, but on my app it says Edward injured, not specified, and he was a doubtful.
Oh, well in, did he?
No.
Vardy, messes it up though.
He's not happy with that pass. You can see it on him.
A lot of Liverpool fans, I don't know if he's injured, not happy that Chiesa's not playing. He wasn't even on the bench.
And what happened?
Who isn't?
Chiesa.
I don't know if
Rodrigo Chiesa. I mean, they have a lot of quality players, right? The bench is already strong, and someone like Gakpo, Salah are already playing.
Yeah.
And they're really going for the crosses, though. They're struggling to break us down centrally, which is nice. And despite from a few errors giving some easy crosses, we are definitely battling them on those areas too. But it does
feel a bit like just a matter of time, though. It's funny though, because obviously what Liverpool are doing to us, we're going to have exact same problem next season in the Championship.
Get used to watching games like this, but with the match flipped, right? It's us doing these, trying to break down the low blocks. Expect Wout Faes, who won't be staying, but if he did, turn into prime Maldini again whenever he decided just to fuck around and find out. Then Luke Thomas,
another corner for Liverpool.
And Neil, do you actually think we're going to be as dominant as we were when we went down last time when we get relegated?
Yes.
Or we're going to have to worry about...
Because in terms of possession, yes. Because if you look at the Championship this season, I don't think it's as strong as when we went up. And okay, for sure, Ipswich are probably going to be favourites above us next season. But for me, the wild card is Southampton, because Southampton were poor last time around. They have been poor in the Premier League, but is it because their players are poor, or is it because they haven't had a good manager?
It's a wait and see so much, right? What happens with McKenna? Does he go. Oh,
Header,
yeah.
free header, but Konate puts it straight at Matt
Like,
Hermanson.
there are so many variables that it's so hard to say right now. Does Ruud van Nistelrooy stay? Do we get a transfer embargo? Do we get deducted
Yeah.
points? Ipswich, how many of their star players leave? How many stay? The manager as
Well,
well.
we know that Liam Delap will leave for sure, so that is a big problem for Ipswich. But you would think that they can still, with the parachute payments, they buy a striker of, let's say, 15, 20 million.
But if they'll be favourites, I think it all depends on the manager merry-go-round, right? And
Yeah.
the transfers they have to make.
You never know. Maybe Chelsea will sack Maresca and they'll bring in McKenna, just... two Leicester players going for the ball, but we do win the ball. Yeah, it does worry me, though. We started well. I think first 20, 25 minutes we were good, but last 10 minutes, just game has been completely played in our half, pretty much.
Yeah, we've resorted to just kicking it long. A little free kick there from Dicodova-Ridas. Liverpool slowly and methodically building up as Ricardo catches out a pass and wins the ball back. It's a hard angle to work from, though, very close to the touch, and as Dicodova-Ridas actually
Go on, Reed. Oh.
tries to run through a few people, but does end up losing it in the end. Good to see some ambition, though, from him to try and drive it forward.
Yeah, you're right, Daniel, there. Southampton could lose Dibbling. I think they will lose him. Kyle Walker-Peters won't fancy another season in the Championship. Probably Harwood Bellis, although I think only Burnley would take him. Maybe one or two others could be tougher than. Absolutely. But as I say, they're a wild card because they won't have a transfer embargo. And so, it's an interesting thing. But let's say the season that we went up, instead of them hiring Russell Martin, what if Southampton went for Enzo Maresca? I believe they were interested in him, you never know.
When do we think we'll know if we get a transfer embargo?
Well, we have one. It's not even we don't know. We have one.
Oh, it's still active.
It's still active, but Mo Salah on a ball, cross it back in. Mads makes a save and doesn't go in. Got away with that one. Leicester get a points deduction if relegated? Yeah.
The transfer embargo is still active, but don't we just do all our business before the 30th of June when we become a championship club again?
That's possible. I mean, just so you know, basically the answer is no one really 100% knows. I did give this example before. The season that we went up, West Brom under Carlos Corberán, believe it or not, they also had the transfer embargo. So that's why that season they were only allowed to make loan signings, free transfer. And I think they signed one player for 5 million. So that's all they did. And despite that, they still got to the playoffs, which is quite impressive. But
they do a lot of work, right? Let's
just say, for argument's sake, that all we can do is sign a few loan players. The crazy thing is that still might be enough. Because if you think about it, last time, who did we sign on loan? We signed Callum Doyle, we signed Yunus Akgun, and we signed Abdul Fatawu, 3 on loan. So, it depends how many are in the squad.
Doesn't really find anyone who tries.
Is that a corner for us? No. Bilal there with the shot. Can't see Mavididi staying. Depends if he gets a bid, though. I'm not really sure he's good enough. I'd like to see us go for Tom Fellows or Josh Sargent next season. I mean, they're both really good players. Josh Sargent, see, that's the one that I think Ipswich might go for if Delap goes, I'm being honest. Although it is, of course, from their crosstown rivals. So, yeah, maybe you're right that they will. Oh, high pressing from Leicester here. But Liverpool managed to play out. But is that Mavididi wins it back?
Oh, when we keep the ball, Luke Thomas as well now. Playing it through to Ndidi, who has a few men to get past and does not manage to do it. And they just kick it out. Now they resort to the good old panic tactic of keep it long. Soumare bravely defending.
Oh, that was Ricardo. Sorry, it sounded like I was having a crap there. But who else do you fear in the Championship? Sunderland impressed me when I saw them this season, although I do think they've fallen off the boil a little bit with their manager. And I also don't think they will keep that French player Enzo Lefebvre, who I think really makes them tick. They're definitely good. And otherwise it'll be whatever out of, if let's say one of that top 3 don't go up, which is possible. Oh, Mads was scrambling. Kept it out. That wasn't intended, but it was going in, I believe. That was Gakpo. Oof, good save, Mads. Oof, oof, oof. Having a good game, Mads, I think, so far.
He's been solid. Let's see if they can do anything from the corner. They've been able to threat us much on it. They get a 1-3 header, and they get another one here as Ndidi
Wow,
bravely
nice.
throws his body on the line.
Yeah. I think maybe Mads would have got to it, but he's done well there. Maybe Mads wouldn't have got to it. Very athletic. Yeah, Salah behind him. Good stuff.
Who's Bobby Donkey over Reed Market? He always marks the biggest man. It's ridiculous.
Whoever they're
trying to
to
find
expect. Well, you say that, Luke, but what he does is he's just there to try and check their run.
Well, it's not
We
worked.
scramble it away. Liverpool really turning up the heat now. I think we got to try and hope we get to half time here.
Ooh.
Oh, great turn there. Who was that? McAllister, I'm guessing, right?
Oh, and a great pass through the lines, but Hermansen picks it up. Into the 41st minute, though, we could hold on for half time here, and that would be a nice surprise as... Yeah, what's that, Javier?
In the Championship, you need to watch out for Ipswich, Southampton, Sunderland, Coventry and Oxford next season. I know, Coventry under Lampard haven't really impressed me. Ipswich, of course. The other two, yes, for sure. But I'd be surprised if at worst we don't make the playoffs. But can we get top two? That might be challenging. Depends on the embargo and who we get in. I'm expecting Ndidi to leave, for example.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of bad enough.
Bradley here on the ball.
Something. They are a bit... they're very patient here, Liverpool. They're definitely trying to turn up the tempo when they feel like they have the chance. But otherwise, it is very much just switching sides, trying to see if you can get in a decent cross. That is a great pass out to the number 21 who finds the back post as Mohamed Salah cannot find it anywhere near the goal as Luke Thomas has put him. I don't want to say his spot.
Pocketing him again.
Yeah.
He's so much better than Christensen.
I mean, how much does he really do that, though? But he definitely marks his man.
He's having a good game, Tsimikas. Second time he's got a really dangerous cross in.
Horrible finish from Mohamed Salah.
If I'm being honest, I think Bobby Reed's not doing enough defensively, which is surprising because normally when he's in the game, you can rely on him for that, if not the attacking side.
Get Monger on.
Well, that's a bit of maybe that's a risk, though.
Don't care, though. What do we have to lose?
It'd be so much better. It would. It would be. What have you got to lose other than playing this donkey that's going to go nowhere?
No, you're right. I guess what I'm saying is I feel we are missing McAteer down that side. His work rate would be...
Yeah, you're right, mate.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Ricardo is inverting, so that could be one reason why it's happening. But I think it's happening even in our defensive phases of play.
Oh, that was a big hit, bro.
And he's definitely hurt as well in the landing there.
Yeah.
That's not a good look.
Is Wrexham actually going to be good? How much money can he actually spend? I don't know anything about them. Yeah, we don't know. Them and Birmingham have both been bankrolled. Oh, that was the Harry Kane there where he shoved. Oh, Sheffield United, will you sell your assets? That's interesting. I know that happened last time and it was really sad that happened. They got promoted and sold all their best players. Because, yeah, Sheffield United, they got a points deduction this season, but they had it because they missed payments to other teams, not because they fiddled with the rules. But you never know. We do know that the EFL is absolutely salivating at rinsing Leicester, aren't they? What do we need to change in the second half here, lads?
I mean, maybe a bit more ambitious in your forward play, but I think defensively we've been as solid as we can against Liverpool. Now, though, this chance could be dangerous, to be honest. This feels pretty good for them as They do
Oh.
just misplace the pass, and that could be something for us now maybe to try and work with. They have a lot of man up in the attack as Jamie Vardy has passed the ball, but has to slow down the tempo as now.
Oh, that was good play though.
Finds him on the overlap, or comes in on the overlap, and forced to play it back. Though maybe it looks like we're just playing for half time here. We'll see how much is added on in just a few short seconds. We're in the 45th minute now. I can see there.
Maury, yeah, I really feel sorry for you. I couldn't believe that he got promoted and you sold the Illman in the eye. I was like, what are these lads doing? Kill your season before it starts. And I got to say, when you guys loaned Luke Thomas from us that got relegated to start for you, I was like, what are this lot doing? They're absolutely crazy.
I agree with Duck. I think defensively we've been pretty sound so far anyways. I'm probably going to give us a kiss of death. What I would like to see change in the second half is I think that we've got too much lack of pace up top. We've got Vardy, we've got Bobby Donkey over Reed. So we can't, on transition, we haven't got enough pace to be effective and we're getting cut off with pace. And if we overcommit, we're going to get pulled out of position and then they're just going to absolutely annihilate us and score. So I think the only thing we can really change is pace up top, to be honest with you, mate.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout.
Yeah, I was going to say, bang on. That's exactly what I would say.
Yeah, we might have actually just survived the first half without conceding, which would be great, and especially against Liverpool. And Vardy tries to put it up high. That is our throw. And get the tempo up, guys. We could have one last attack here. As D could overread. Gets the thrown out to Ndidi. There are our blue shirts up in attack. It definitely seems like we are happy to wait as Ricardo.
Oh, I lost the ball there, though.
Now they could be on the counter.
Better get back, guys.
And Diaz who plays up
bad. Well done. Well done. Just kick it.
Amundsen has been assertive today. He feels back at his best. There is no doubt about when he rushes out and he gets to his ball. Just before as well, we saw it. Like he's been really good today. As the halftime seems to be looming over the King Power Stadium. One last cross potentially here from Liverpool as it's Cody Gakpo who gets past Dika Double Reed, finds the cross and the head is connected with Mohamed Salah. Diaz in the box trying.
Oh, good effort that. Unlucky. But Luis Diaz doesn't put it in.
But then it's also half time.
And there it is. So crazy enough, it's actually 0-0 at half time. Both teams have hit the post. Liverpool hit the post twice, but in the same shot, so it doesn't count. And indeed, unlucky there with his effort. What have you made of that half, Doug?
Pretty solid. I mean, yeah, I think defensively I couldn't have asked for more. We're playing against Liverpool when you really think about it. We're always going to give away chances. And I think we haven't given away too many stupid chances yet. There was one in the first few minutes with Luke Thomas where it wasn't too pretty. I think as well we had one more as well. We didn't really see the one where they had a really big chance where someone was keeping the whole line of onside. But nothing heartbreaking. No heartbreaking mistakes so far. Hermansen looks absolutely solid today. He's assertive in his rushing out as well, which I really like. I think that's key, especially in a fixture like this. And the build-up play has at times been bad, but we're against Liverpool. I can't be asking for much more. I would just like to see Monga and some more pace up in the front, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd like to see us have more threats. So looking at this in the half, you can see the XG only 0.08 for Leicester. That seems a bit low to me, I will be honest with you, because we had a good chance there. Liverpool 0.81. That's not as crazy as I thought, although they had 3 big chances. 14 shots from Liverpool, 2 for us, 5 saves from Mads. Let's have a look. What about possession? I'm sure they had a lot more. Not too much to make from that half. Anyone impressed you in the Leicester end?
For me, I'm going to have to say Luke Thomas, He's been outside of basically essentially almost giving away a goal in the first 2 minutes. Solid.
Yeah, look at him. Him and Mads, highest rated players for us.
I think he's been decent too. I like to see, it feels like the players have got more confidence in their attack now. Regardless of if it works out or not, it's nice to see them try and take on that man and not always pass back. Again, I want to be entertained because even if we don't get relegated today, we are still essentially relegated. I want to see Monker on though, or at the very least someone who has more pace of an attack because Deco Double Reed has been struggling a bit and not contributing defensively what we really need.
Yeah, I think he's been our worst player, to be honest with you, Bobby Reed. No pressure when we play like this in the Brighton game, if only. Yeah. Although I think today it kind of just feels it is that Liverpool aren't on it rather than we're being that particularly good. Just give you some of the other scores that happened earlier today. Chelsea actually came back and beat Fulham. They're 1-0 down. Fair play to them. Ipswich 4-0 home defeat against Arsenal. They had a man sent off after half an hour. Man United doing Man United things, i.e. screwing over Leicester. They lose at home to Wolves. Wolves on such a tear. Therefore, I think they've won like 5 out of the last 6. Fairly crazy. They're well out of trouble. And yeah, it means a defeat will put us down, but it's currently 0-0 at the King Power. Let's have a look at it. Might bring up some of the tables. Might be time to start looking at the Championship table, guys. That's the the sad issue, isn't it? Let's take a look here as it stands. Yeah, with 18 points, behind West Ham. But if we win, we'll get 1 additional point.
I'd like to see a point on the Ipswich today, though. Like if we could catch up with them and end up 18th, that'd be pretty nice.
Well, that's going to be the big game, isn't it? When we play us and so Southampton, they're on 11 points now. So they've actually equaled Derby as a record, haven't they? With that, so probably knowing them, they will beat us to make sure that they don't get the worst one. But there you go. Yeah, West Ham is a team we have to look at now, man. That's crazy, isn't it? They obviously dominated us in one of Potter's first games. Donkey needs to be taken off, gives nothing, but it gives hypertension. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what happens second half.
He's off with nothing. Like what have we got?
Yeah. Go on, Luke.
Sorry, brother. You're all right. I don't think he offers anything. As you said, he's killing us in defense. He's so slow. I'm so over this Donkey. Like, just why not play Mongo? We've got to lose. Like, it's imagine how exciting that'd be for the kid to come on. Imagine if he bangs a goal in. There's so much better options out there than Bobby Donkey over Reed. I think indeed he had a brilliant first half, mate. He had a few really good saves. He wasn't too bad on the ball. I thought he was done harshly by the ref in that first half. I thought he had a really sound first half. I think he was our best player there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd probably agree. It's a bit sad that offering not much going on. Would get Daka and Monga on, says Brian. Yeah, get some pace on there for sure.
That's pretty
Duck
much
is taking Charlie the dog out for a walk. Don't blame him. So,
Of course,
Championship next season, Luke. Which team are you most looking forward to play? Sadly, you won't get your revenge match against Leeds, which would have been pure cinema.
I would have loved that so bad. I would have absolutely loved that. To be honest with you, I just would love to absolutely take Coventry's pants down and spread them and just absolutely annihilate them. After that last game where Fatawa got red carded. But honestly, mate, I'm looking forward to playing. Like maybe Sunderland might come up for playoffs, maybe not. I don't think they will. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they can pull off next season. I think the team to watch is obviously Ipswich. I do think that they're going to continue to progress. I think that they've obviously not gone up to the mark. I think they've got back-to-back League One to Championship to Premier League. Very, very impressive and very commendable, but I think too much too soon. So it'll be interesting to see what they do next season. Will they adjust like in preparation to hopefully be readjusted for the Premier League, or are they going to go back to continue playing how they are building upon it?
Mm-hmm. How about you, Duck? Who are you most looking forward to playing next season in the Championship?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I am not sure. I think I have quite a few QPR mates who are QPR fans. We had some close games against them last time, or not close, but games we should have dominated, but didn't end up winning dominantly. Right, losing one and a brilliant wing goal for the other one, winning us that late on. So it would be fun to play up against them. Otherwise, I think maybe Wrexham, right, for the Hollywood fairy tale. And I think definitely, just because I know we will be the big team next year in the league, so they will definitely make a huge part about it in the season when they're playing in the Championship. That they're playing against Leicester, who won the league just not much more than 10 years ago, right? It will be about 10 years when we play them next year. So I think they'll definitely make a huge part about it. Maybe we could let Ryan Reynolds know that he could reach out to the blue tinted glasses for a guest appearance on the Welcome to Wrexham show, right?
That would be good. Well, let's take a look at the Champions League. We don't know how familiar you are with it this season. So yeah, still pretty competitive. I think by this point last time, teams had already been relegated. I think Rotherham were already down at this point. But yeah, some surprising names.
They were.
Yeah, of course. They didn't spend. They had a terrible squad. But yeah, Plymouth bottom, Wayne Rooney effects, although they replaced him, still not done too much better. Cardiff, that's the surprise story for me. I mean, the resources that they've been given. And Luton, I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? The fact that they could go from the Premier League down to League One is crazy. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if they do stay up, if they're equally as bad. Same with Hull. Hull, I thought last season with Liam Rosenior that they maybe underperformed and should have got into the playoffs. But now Rossini's at Strasbourg. Strasbourg are, I think, third in the French league. And look at how badly Hull have fallen off. Absolutely unbelievable. Other teams to watch out for. Yeah, you got Sunderland. So yeah, interesting ones is that Bristol City as well sort of came from nowhere. They beat us, you might remember, last time round as well. Yeah, they shouldn't have sacked Liam. And JC, yeah, good evening, boys. Thank you for your stream. Thank you. Plucky Luton. Love to see it. Down with Derby, please. We'll see.
That is unbelievable, though, that they might actually get relegated here from back-to-back promotions to back-to-back relegation. Not back-to-back promotions, they didn't have that, but back-to-back relegations after what was a brilliant story, right? Winning on penalties in Wembley to get out to the Premier League against the Coventry scum. So it's
Absolutely.
a bit of a crazy downfall.
Especially given that when they signed, they weren't crazy as well. Like normally when that happens, it's because the team makes all these sort of like signings only for the Premier League and then they leave. But they signed all these players that were supposedly going to be Championship All-Stars. They just haven't done it at all.
Everyone were praising the strategy, right? It was, maybe if you stay up, you stay up. Otherwise, you're signing some great Championship players who will definitely be keeping you in the fight for Premier League football next year. And instead, they are now, looming with the relegation. They've been even further. They've been in the mud more than they are now. They're on their way out of it, right? But like they were down and out for a point of the season. Sacking Rob Edwards as well. Buying, I think, was it the I can't remember which team they bought the manager from, but hasn't been much better since then.
Yeah, didn't know that. Matty James plays for Wrexham now. Look at that. He might be back at the King Power next season. How is everyone feeling in regards to our youth talent like Lorenz Hutchinson, Darren Motzi, Bless Akob, I don't even know who it is, Jake Evans and Mongo? Golden generation. I've got to say, I'm not the most in the nose. Any of you guys want to give your opinion on the youth?
What about, what's his name that we signed from Chelsea? Gold, I forgot his Michael Golding.
Yeah.
What the hell? Where's he? What happened to him? There was 5 million we spent on him. Shouldn't he be part of this golden generation as well?
Every time he's playing for the U21s, he looks to be good, but he's just disappearing for months at a time for some reason. If it's injuries or what, we don't know for sure. But when the clips I've seen at the U21s, he looks good when he's there, but he's just not there often enough or something. It's a bit weird. But at my time for supporting Leicester, at least, this is clearly the best golden generation we've had, or the best crop of wonder kids we have coming through. Let's see how many we can manage to retain. We lost Trainioni, right, to Liverpool. Let's see if we lose Monga as well, or hopefully not someone like Jake Evans or the other ones we have. But I think this is really a few years now where we've had some good wonder kids in each, right? You have your Will Alves, Semi Braybrook could maybe get minutes. Henry Cartwright next year could potentially get some. Ben Nelson, these are a bit older, now in their early 20 players. And then you have the extremely young generation that's just coming through with Jake Evans and Jeremy Monk in particular, and then a few in between that as well.
What I think is pretty telling is that I don't think Braybrook's ever going to cut it. I think it's pretty telling that he went to Dundee and only managed 7 appearances, and a lot of them were off the bench. I think that if he can't cut it there, he's not going to cut it in the Championship, in my opinion. So I think Braybrook's one that's not going to be as highly touted as we originally hoped. What's really, really interesting to see is I've completely just drawn a blank on his name. Oh, Will Alves doing really well at Cardiff. I'm actually quite excited to see what he can do for us next season as well. That's one that everyone's forgetting about. He's quietly doing work over there. So I'm really excited to see what we can do with Alves if we can't keep Monga, like everyone thinks he's going to go. So Monga, Alves, and also Jake Evans. Obviously a lot to be excited about, yes.
Here's some interesting stats, actually. Here's from the Premier League 2 team. You can see top goal scorer is Jake Evans with 10 goals. It's pretty impressive. He's actually the 3rd top scorer in the PL2. And you got Logan Briggs, 4 goals, 4 assists. So that might be someone to keep an eye on. Same with Henry Cartwright, 4 goals, 3 assists from central midfield. So from the attacking point of view, these could be some players to watch out for. You got Jeremy Mongo there at 15 years old, still got 2 assists and scored goals. Pretty impressive, I would say. And questions here. What's the deal with Suter? Harry Suter, he got ACL he did in January. So that's probably going to keep you out for a year. So I doubt you'll see him play at all for any team in 2025. Probably see him back in 6. Logan Briggs is a KDH region. I have to say, that's what I've heard as well. I think he's left-footed as well. People forgetting Brandon Cover. You know what? Do you remember him? Brandon Cover, he played a few games under Enzo in the inverted role. You never know. He might be... Yeah, you never know, because last time round, everyone thought Will Alves was going to be the breakout sensation. He didn't even play, and it was Casey McAteer that forced his way into the team. And what about Wanya Marcel?
Yeah, Wanya Marcel's coming back. That's true. I think it depends a lot on who the manager will be, right? The manager will definitely find some of the players in the academy that suits their style and that they think they have a use to fill in the squad. But it feels like a bit like of a roulette wheel when a new manager comes in. Who do they prefer of the youngsters? Like some of the youngsters you really praise, they fall out in the cold, and some you didn't really expect to break through, get some minutes, right? But we'll see.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
So
think,
how are you feeling right now? Do you think we're going to stave off relegation, or is it just a matter of time?
It's a matter of time. Suter ruptured did his ACL for Australia, and then he's ruptured his Achilles tendon. So I think that he could be very well cooked as a player. They are two very significant injuries to have for a big lad of his size and stature. I think it could be over, unfortunately, but I hope not. But I think it's only a matter of time. And like we all know it, we've all pretty much accepted it since the last time, ironically, that we played Wolves, and we've got them coming up next. So just all about the future and the youth and how we employ it and what kind of system we're going to have moving forward and who's going to be here managing us.
Yeah, absolutely. And if we get relegated today, do you think Ruud should go immediately?
I mean, I don't care as long as we know soon if he goes at the end of the season, so they can start preparing for the next one, right? Like I think, especially if we have the embargo and we need to do our signings quickly, they need to get to work quickly. So if they announce he's playing out the remainder of the season and he'll leave at the end, fine with me. If he leaves immediately, fine with me. As long as we just know the outcome so they can plan for next season, regardless of what happens.
Yeah, well, boys are coming back out onto the pitch now. So you've got 45 minutes. Is the great comeback back on, or is it?
This would be greater than the Great Escape if we survive this season. I mean, I'll gladly buy out the whole merch store if we survive this, man. Let me get some audio back on as well.
Thank you.
On the screen there, the little beautiful Dane.
Alleged audio.
No changes. No.
Would love to get Russell Martin in and get him started with the team right away. I think you might be on your own with that one. Agreed that Dan James not good enough for the Premiership. Yeah, he's never really made it. He's always been good in the Championship with that pace, though, I've got to say.
Oh, man, fast twitch fibers, many definitely would like that.
Well, yeah, they don't come much faster than his fast twitch fibers. Chip says, Russell Martin, I'm going to go drink some bleach. Be right back.
I got a good question for you. Jamie Vardy 1 more year, or Ruud van Nistelrooy to sub himself onto this game for the rest of the game?
1 more year.
1 more year.
The thing is, I will say, is that like why Vardy was so good last season is that when you're playing teams that are just parking the bus, it helps to have players that can finish, and there's still not a better finisher than him of the strikers that we've got, right? That is Daka's problem, is that not only has he got kind of no sort of first touch, but even his finishing just consists of hitting the ball really hard. And you've got to be a bit cuter than that when you're not going to be getting these sort of, tap-in type goals. Cody here of the long ball trying to find the diagonal, and he finds Bobby Reed, but he's offside. No, I'll get him off.
Get him off. Get on the 15-year-old.
Vardy be good in a Championship. Yeah, I think Vardy would be, but I think the issue is, and I agree, some people have said neither, is that, what are you learning if you're not betting in a striker? Like, I feel that, well, who knows what happened with Tom Cannon, but even last year, you had Tatson, Daka, Kelechi, and Nacho, Tom Cannon, and none of them were the Liverpool with the crossing. Is that Thomas again? He's been man of the match. You've got to say so far for us.
He's been good so far, man. Except for that early mistake, he's definitely been up for it, and I will give him credit for it. I think this he is,
and that's good awareness. He knows that, or does he? But he stops the ball from reaching Mo Salah.
Regardless if he knows or not, he makes the right decision and clears it out. Look at Hammonds praising the 12-year-old kid there.
Some players have like a weird psychological thing where they just know they have it over people. Like it's the same thing every time Justin comes up against what's his name at Tottenham. He rinses him every single time and pockets him.
Yeah.
Song.
Oh, good hit out.
It's out.
Yeah, Vardy's wage. Do you know what? I don't think he is on 140k a week, but it wouldn't surprise me if he's on 100. I believe he took a reduced salary this season. Who you play if not Vardy though? Daka, he won't be getting much better at 26. He won't be, but the thing is that in the Championship, a striker that cost over £20 million is still going to be way better than what. Oh, that's great. Is that Canoes? Vardy
I think
surrounded
it's
by
his
players.
last year
Keeps the ball.
his contract too.
Yeah,
Daka.
well, Ricardo
That
fouled,
could be a
but no, it's gone off for a throw.
What? I mean, with the soft free kicks that the ref has been given, I'm surprised that wasn't given either.
Liverpool should sign Thomas. He's clearly an amazing prospect. I'd say 60 million is good.
That's too little, mate. We need 100 million for him in this market. He's young as well. Golden Boy nomination, you know. Don't forget it.
Cody Gakpo on the ball, lurking on the left wing.
Oof, what a shot.
Oh,
Kinda-
that was actually good defending from Cody. Yeah, if Daka's on the final year of his contract, surely he needs to be sold if possible. I agree, but Willie, what takers will they get? For whatever reason, at Leicester, they don't like to lose players for sort of small fees, even though you'd think that, 3 million is better than nothing. That's not the way that the hierarchy sees it. A bit weird.
It's hard when what we paid the money that we did for him, he's constantly frozen out because he's just simply not good enough. And then when he gets his chance to try and, be put back in the shop window or redeem himself, he never does. And he's had several chances. He's had 2 to 3 now redemption arc chances that he's just never panned out. He's just simply not good enough. But then again,
Dennis Pratt all over again, if you ask me.
Exactly right. And the fact that he's now got 1 year left, like we're going to get absolutely nothing from him. People will just wait it out.
You could sign Patrick Bamford, says the Leeds fan. Yeah, I don't get him, though. Whenever I see Patrick Bamford, he doesn't look disastrous to me, but I know you lot obviously know way more than me. Like, put it this way, Leeds, the one that always shocks me is that Ilan Meslier still plays for you guys. Like, I'm genuinely convinced if you didn't have him in goal, you'd have had 103 points already. But
he isn't playing anymore, though. They changed him out like 3 games ago and haven't lost since.
well, what a surprise,
Yeah.
But I mean, just think about,
They got rid of that wall, They finally made the decision.
Yeah. How much money does it work out in touches for Vardy? Yeah, probably every game he gets probably 10 grand a touch or something like that. Nice work if you can get it. Right, Liverpool parking themselves on our box here on the outside. Oh, Salah does Thomas this time. Cuts back in, but Thomas does well. Recovers, corner.
Never seen Thomas play like this, man, except for maybe when he first broke through. This is unbelievable.
Who's shitter, Bamford or Daka? I would say Daka. Because I think Bamford scored like 15 goals in the Premier League one season. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he had a great season in one of the COVID seasons.
Yeah,
10 corners for Liverpool, 0 for Leicester. As Tsimikas steps up again, and likely just going to throw it into the head of Conor Cody or Boubacar Soumare. But Ibrahim Konate have been able to meet on the end of a cross a few times too. So there are candidates in there as Hermansen instead punches it out. And
in classic Ruud fashion, he's changed nothing, and unsurprisingly, the game hasn't changed at all.
Yeah, they still have the ball on the edge of the box, just playing around with the food. You have to feel, I guess, the inevitable seems to be coming soon. A long ball though finds no one, and we have to pick. Can we do something from this?
Do you think IU comes on for Reed? I mean, that's what I was thinking.
That does maybe, man. I mean, I don't know. Give me manga. Give me some manga madness.
Yeah. Well, he'll probably come on for the last 15. Yeah, he is slow. But the thing is IU's not even doing the defensive side, so he's doing no help whatsoever. Andreas says, I would definitely have Vardy next season in the Championship on reduced wages, sell Daka. Some people like to listen to sad music to get their feelings. I just watched a video last year of Daka missing every shot. Really hits the spot. We could play IU as a striker next season. That's actually what I think may be the answer, to be honest with you.
Okay, hold on.
Mavadidi on the ball, gone. Steffi driving at Liverpool defence. Still got the ball. Turns back now. He's not got much support.
Marked a bit too tightly there, but regardless, though, indeed with a bit of a breakdance move, that's to win the ball and give us hopefully a bit of a spell-off possession here to let us know we can still kick around the football at the back.
Yeah, Jordan Ayew, just quickly on that, a striker next season. So when Palace signed him, they signed him from Lorient, the French team in the second division. And I think he had hit 15 goals. Oh, Bilal.
The ball.
Crossing. Oh,
Good enough. And it finds no one.
Crossing to Vardy works out exactly as you'd expect. And Liverpool back on the ball and on the attack. Leicester got to get back in transition. Yeah, it was a bit hard for Vardy, to be fair. I think he done the right thing, though. He had to play it quick. Oh, ball over the top to Szoboszlai. Crosses it in. Oh, great.
Nice.
That was who's Ricardo. Brilliant.
Mavididi gets it past one, but McAtee.
That was Liverpool's best chance by far off the line there.
Mohamed Salah on the ball. Could cut inside and will do so. Finds the pass. McAllister. Back to Salah, who tries to shot. Thomas blocks it. Salah again finds it through to someone, as it is Szoboszlai who's on the ball.
No, that's good.
Brilliant by Salah.
The goal is definitely coming for Paul, though, isn't it? Definitely coming.
Feels like a bit of the inevitable. A goal is on the way.
Bleeding Jake Evans for next season. That will be an interesting one, because the thing is it appears that him and Jeremy Monger are playing the same sort of position. So, yeah, I think these guys have got to get games. So, if they're not, what I hope is that they get loan moves so that they can start playing. Because unsurprisingly, like Luke mentioned earlier, Will Alves playing every week now for Cardiff, even though Cardiff are struggling. It's when you see him, he really looks quite good. And it's like, that's all these players need.
That's exactly right.
That's a great block, Ricardo. Brilliant.
Enzo never played him, so he's basically had a whole season on the bench, which has really interrupted his development. So I think it's excellent that he's gone to Cardiff.
Absolutely agreed. And it's like, when you do the loan, you don't even have to loan them out for the whole season. You can loan them out for 6 months, 3 months even. Just get them some game time and get them playing.
That's why I was like, people laughed at me. Like, I remember we were talking pre-season and everyone thought that Golding was going to be an instant feature. We've not even seen him once. So I think in a few minutes here, there in an FA Cup game early in the season. So he really could have done it alone as well.
Luis Diaz puts it over. Good chance there, Liverpool. Like I say, they're looking... Maybe that should have been a goal there. Great play. 1-2.
Would you not say that spending $5 million on a player and not sending them on loan and then putting them with your youth team instead is like a complete waste of money and it makes zero sense whatsoever?
Generally, yes. I think it depends how far off they are, which you've got to judge. But like the Golding one does surprise me, just because I remember in pre-season, in the very first pre-season friendly, Steve Cooper gave minutes to both Will Alves and Michael Golding. And I don't think either one of them were particularly bad, but then you didn't see from them ever again. So I'm guessing that he gave them a chance to sort of play in the first team. They didn't make it, which is fine. But then why not then immediately loan them out? It seemed really, really stupid. Mavididi is looking tired. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, but I think you got to keep him on, because I still think him and Bilal still look like the players most likely, if anything. But yeah, this game you can just see they're just getting more and more fatigued, and the goal will come just as we get fatigued. That's why that indeed, if he'd got that goal, would have been huge, because it would have just given us that confidence boost and that morale. But yeah, funny, speaking to Kate on Good Morning Fox, and she goes, well, Liverpool, at least they won't just pass us to death. But that's what they're doing.
Yeah, Mo Salah now on the ball.
Oh, it took a bit wide there, but he still keeps it.
Yeah.
You got to say, how good has Mo Salah been this season? Absolutely ridiculous stats. Most amount of goals and assists combined in Premier League history.
Oh, where's the ball dropped? Oh, Hamilton.
Great save.
Beautiful save.
He is back to his best.
What happened there? I'm not quite sure he's been due one, to be honest with you. I actually thought that could have been a foul on a Leicester player, but it wasn't given. Gravenberch drives in. Faze and Diaz get into a bit of a rumble, and Simicast tried it, but Mads was there. Yeah, it was a great save. Liverpool corner. Play it short. Nice. And now Mavadidi's on the ball. Oh, no, Samare driving of the ball. I just expected it to be Mavididi because it was left wing, but it's not.
No, it's Kanoush, I believe. Yeah, El Kanoush, yeah.
He's got to win. Oh, Bilal. Did so well
Took
before
so
that.
long for our players to get up the pitch as well, man. So I'm talking about a lack of pace, man. It's definitely time to probably, unfortunately, get Daka on and definitely Mongo for that stupid donkey.
I'm hoping Salah and VVD play every minute this season, so it'll catch up with them next season. We'll have to see. I have to say it's impressive from both that they've gone back to vintage. Like Van Dijk, especially last season, looked like he was, had gone down a level, but no, he's back on it, isn't he? Salah, I mean, I was going to say, actually, that this season is the last we'll ever see of Kevin De Bruyne. And, where does he rank for you amongst the Premier League greats and Salah as well?
Kevin De Bruyne's an absolute machine, dude.
Yeah.
Kevin,
best midfielder in Premier League history? He's got to be up there. Oh, good ball played, never did he? Giving away, though.
So they get the ball back immediately. I think maybe changes will happen sooner rather than later. We're about to head into the 60th minute, and no team have tried anything to unlock this game, really. But you could already has dropped down way deeper and in more of a defensive unit.
Crosses it in. No, but Tomorrow's there.
It's in plenty of space to just clear it wide and give it the throw.
I'm just waiting for when Liverpool put on Jota and Harvey Elliott. Feels like it. We need subs in the next 5 minutes. Absolutely agreed. Sorry, go on, Luke.
One, were you surprised that Salah just signed a contract extension? We expected him to go to PSG, and Kevin De Bruyne, I think that his message that he wrote, he's saying that he was leaving to the club, I really felt that. I really respected that a lot. I think that's a way to leave the club. Big respect to him for writing the way he did.
Yeah, I actually did think Salah would leave. I thought he would go to Saudi, to be honest, for the money, and also just because. Conor Bradley on the ball, crosses it in. Another great defense. Where's this?
Almost Salah, but the finish is wayward though. Brilliant turn.
Salah wide.
Pressure, man.
Yeah.
You can see the class he has, man. Salah is unbelievable. Ricky again getting in the way.
Ricardo's been pretty good defensively, I've got to say. That was brilliant from Salah to put three people on their back step with that drag back. Yeah, he's not got his boots on for sure. I agree with that. His finishing's been a bit off today, but look at that. That's a brilliant. He took 4 players off with that body feint. Well, okay, Jota's coming on. Is he coming on for Cody Gakpo or Luis Diaz?
But for who come up?
Gakpo, yeah. I understand it, but I don't think Gakpo had the worst game there, to be honest. He was threatening. But Jota, unfortunately, does love a goal. So Buonanotte and Daka are coming on. I'm guessing it's going to be for Bobby Reed and Vardy. But knowing Rude, he's going to take Bilal off, isn't he? He's because Bilal dragged it out of play with that counter attack. I bet he's coming off.
Hope not.
That's a foul. Yeah, foul Termin's in it.
Fucking mouse.
Salah didn't trigger the finesse shot. What a move. It's Bobby Reed for Buonanotte.
Rude the goat. Masterclass.
Yeah. Right?
These are actually the right subs to make, to be honest with you. Yeah.
So do you reckon that pretty much means that we're not going to see Mogu come on now?
Yeah. Unless maybe for the last 5 minutes.
I believe he can play on the other side as well. Yeah, I think he could get given the last 5.
Or he might just move Buonanotte to the left or middle or something.
Yeah.
But I think it definitely means we won't get to see him a long time. I think it will be maybe a few minutes later on.
Yeah, Boho, I totally agree with you. On our counter, Vardy is nowhere. He is really slow, unbelievable, so sad. Yeah. I mean, that's my point. If you put him on now, the irony is because some of their players are tired, the lack of pace may not be such an issue. But that was always going to be the point. And it's the fault of the club, really. I mean, it's just you've got stats in your pre-season and you can literally record how fast the players, and he's not as fast as he used to be. And not surprising, everyone gets old.
No, great pass.
Phase on the ball. Nice turn back. Pumps it long.
Very low kick. The thing is, if they mishandle that once, we could get something from it. We saw the chance we got before. This was a good press from Daka as well.
Yeah. No, having Daka on is absolutely the right move. Because even like I say, if he's clown shoes, look at this, the pace. The pace gives them something to worry about. And we've won a corner. Look at that.
That's a corner. Ruud is encouraging the players there. He's saying demand more or encourage in the football manager setting.
Ethan says Ricky has been so solid. Absolutely agree with you. Actually, do you know what? I thought Ricky would come off now for Justin because of the 60 minutes, but he's kept him on. And I was calling for Justin to start at left back, but you've got to say that Thomas has done no wrong. Well, other than that first minute, he's been very good. So
come on, someone get that fucking knocking on it, man, please.
Yeah, go on.
Give us some scrappy goal here. Come on, someone get up a loud and tall. No, it's headed out and it's easily cleared here from Liverpool, who could do something on a potential transition. The defenders are scrambling to get back as McAllister runs up the field. For once, we look a bit deorganized as the defense is still making their way back. The cross comes in and it finds ahead of Jota, but flies wide. And yet again, their finishing have not been sharp. Hermansen would have gotten to it either way. And we're back on the ball.
Good cross there, Szoboszlai.
Yeah, good cross. The delivery didn't feel anything. The header, though, failed 0-2 badly. We could definitely either just shithouse a point or maybe even shithouse 3 points. If we just get one chance and scramble it in. It wouldn't surprise me if we're Leicester and do that.
It wouldn't. But I mean, we need to score. We've got nothing to lose. Why take off with strikers? Like for like subs is so frustrating. Ruud van Nistelrooy. Yeah, I guess though, if you got two strikers on against a team like this, you're going to have even less ability to get the ball to them because you just got so little possession.
I mean, I would have wanted Monk on instead of Bonanotte, as Bonanotte won't be here next season regardless, right? Monk might, but I think it's the right decision to make if you want to win the game.
Yeah, 2 attempts for Leicester, 20 for Liverpool. At least we've had the 2 attempts though, because there's definitely been Ruud games where we haven't had any attempts whatsoever. But for sure, I think the story of this game since 30 minutes in is just we can't get out really. Struggling to get from back to front. And Diddy of the ball forward. Yeah, Daka pressing but by himself.
Yeah, we like to see it though. We like to see it. Does that open up anything for Mavididi to do here? The long ball, if we can win the second ball, nice.
Well played, Luke Thomas. Mavididi back in. Bilal's got the ball.
Could be looking for the cross. We have Daka in the box. Mavididi's making his way in. It's a low driven and
he tried the cute one. A bit too cute, if you ask me.
Yeah, and Mo Salah, luckily though, does a Bilal Kanoush impression and dribbles it out of play. We have a pretty. I mean, we could retain the ball here. Mavididi beats his man.
Free kick, yes.
Free kick, and that's a potential yellow, no?
Yeah. Actually been our best spell of the game for quite some time this last 5 minutes. The subs have actually worked.
Hold on.
Thomas has Salah rattled. In some ways, he has.
This could be something. Let's see what happens, though, and who will stand.
Come on. Bilal special.
Get Caleb Bukolian to win the header.
Exactly.
That was soft from Everton. That looks so much worse in slow motion.
What, the dive?
I don't care. I don't care, though.
Yeah, exactly. Look, that's the mentality.
65 minutes, 0-0 though. You've got to say Leicester have done pretty well, to be honest with you. Yeah, Liverpool have had all these shots, but really, other than them hitting that post in the first half, there hasn't really been one that's like an absolute heart in your mouth moment. I'm sure it will come. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure it will come. But
so it's Luke Thomas whips it in the box. That's a good curl on it, but it does hit the head of a Liverpool player, and now it scrambles.
10. In the box. No, one and up.
So it's one, and Didi kicks it, and that should be a corner. No, it scrambles over the line.
Is that a goal?
He just scored.
No, I think he's ruled it out. Yeah, I think he's ruled it out.
Why?
Yeah, it did look like it. VAR will probably look at it, I'm sure.
Yeah, what happened, man? When he points towards the spot,
it did look like someone was wrestling in the box.
Yeah, but he's
on the
listening
keeper.
to VAR. Hopefully, the VAR man has committed on a Leicester City goal here. Is that unbelievable?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. They might give this. There's
nothing wrong with that. That's fucking.
Oh, they're saying it might be a goal kick. It might have gone out. I don't think. Well, that maybe it's gone out, but Alisson, I mean, that's fair enough. He's just lost the strength there.
Oh, but he's running like the ball is back in play.
No, they've played on already. Wow. Okay, I can't believe we didn't get that.
That's a disgrace. We won the game as far as I'm concerned.
Leicester have been wrong.
That is soft. I agree. Oh no! And finally,
Thomas. A moment now. You've been good, mate. Ooh, great block.
Good. It's good game so far, actually. So all of a sudden, Leicester found a little bit. Oh, nice from Didi.
Oh, sexy.
Sexy Didi.
I can't believe, I've got to say, you know, whether that's a goal or not, the fact that they haven't even looked at it on VAR does feel
A bit
Corrupt.
disingenuous.
Big
Yeah.
Six fucking mafia.
Oh no, I think the worst has happened.
A goal.
That was Cody that scored that goal as well, by the way, right?
I do agree. If that's Liverpool, they're checking VAR. I would agree with that.
Yeah, they're definitely checking the. But little old Leicester are relegated regardless.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, I mean, if it's not a goal, it's not a goal. But as you say, it's like, you know, you'd think they would at least, because on the replay, it didn't really look to be too much wrong with it. What they might have said is maybe they've said that the ball just went out of play when Daka touched it.
This is a major problem, by the way, I think, of football for you guys as well. Like, why that they don't have the refs mic'd up is ridiculous. I think once they started doing it,
Yeah. Do you know why a lot of people say this is because they think it would actually show how rigged the game is. Rich says, highlight of Leicester season. Remember when we beat Liverpool 0-0 of them having 30 chances? I mean, when your team is as shite as we've been this season, you've got to cling on to what you've got. Oh, again, Bonanite and El Canoes getting stuck in. You know, these subs have really worked well.
Yeah, great ball pinged over to Mavadidi, who is in space to do something. It's Connor Bradley on a yellow, by the way. Mavadidi finds his man.
Oh, Daka again with a poor
Daka,
touch.
so
He still got the
shit.
ball.
Tries
Pen?
to win a penalty,
No,
doesn't
not given.
Thomas
Dak
gets
is
the
so shit.
rebound.
You know what? This will at the moment, this is the best we've been all game. If we are going to score, we're probably going to score in the next 2 or 3, or we're not going to get it at all, which is
We're
more
being
likely.
robbed by the ref. Got fast with the ball to Ndidi, who plays it back to Ricardo. It's a bit of easy one to
Bonanite again.
Bonanite on the
Ball over the
pinged
top.
up.
Daka, oof, good idea.
Keeper action though from Alisson.
Thomas's aura defending, let's be honest. That aura is strong today, my friend.
Dude, I can't. I mean, except for those first 2 minutes, he hasn't put many. He hasn't done much wrong. He's done much right actually instead. And that's a great engage from. Oh, come
Of
on!
course, I knew it. I knew it. That is ridiculous. They're giving Liverpool the title here today. Unbelievable.
Oh, yellow card as well for that
Wait to
challenge.
give this-
Absolutely unbelievable,
Hey.
ref. Absolutely unbelievable. Shocking. You're a bit of a fucking cunt, man.
This
He's a
ref's been
fucking-
poor all game. You know that.
Yeah, he's
This
been
ref is
fucking
a
ass, man.
scouse that loves sitting in a fucking cup chair. What a piece of shit. Fucking that guy's an absolute disgrace. I can't wait to fill in my score for the fucking referee.
Okay, so Ndidi gets a yellow for that. Maybe you can have a look at that and say okay. But the tackle from Ricardo was brilliant, man. And then-
Daka plays football like he's wearing flippers. Unfortunately, he does.
Yeah, and instead they get a free kick.
Oh, Trent is coming on. Are
Just
they
as-
taking Connor Bradley off there? I'm guessing.
Definitely.
Oh, Harvey Elliott's come on though. He's Are they taking Dominic Szoboszlai off though? I rate Harvey Elliott. He might have a dodgy haircut, but a very talented player. I will say, do you know, with Harvey Elliott, so he made this debut for Fulham, I think, when he was 15 or 16, and obviously he's gone on to play for Liverpool and be a good player. So, you know, that could give you a kind of idea of what Jeremy Monger's potential is. You know, if Jeremy Monger was only as good as Harvey Elliott, that'd be pretty good if you asked me.
Yeah, it would definitely be good enough to help us though. So
Yeah. Because the thing is sometimes these child prodigies, like there was a guy called, I forget what his name is, something Daramoko. He was this kid that was training with the first team with Celtic when he was 14 years old. But at the moment, I think he's playing for Oxford on loan or something like that. So, you know, it just goes to show that sometimes these wonder kids, that's still decent. Like, he's a professional player, right? He's having a career, but it's
we are in this.
they don't all end up being the next Mbappe, put it that way, or Haaland.
They can't. I think this is actually impressive, man. We're in the 72nd minute, haven't conceded. Like, even if you get a 0-0, it's a clean sheet. Second clean sheet of this, man.
No, we've been good defensively today. I mean, yeah, it just makes you think that when you see a performance like this, like, again, where's it been all season? Do you know, one thing I'll say today is that, like, look at the defending. People are throwing themselves on the line to stop the ball from going in. They haven't done that all season. Like, Great Escape season, that was another really big thing, is that, oof. Oh, that is a foul.
If the ref didn't play that, I was going to have a fucking meltdown.
Yeah, that's Freddie Adu you're talking about there, Boho Records. That's but he was very overhyped, I think. Ooh,
Ricky with a risky pass and it does get caught out, but we can easily win it back there. That's
yeah.
a throw-in for Leicester.
There is a States player at the moment called Caleb Sullivan that's actually signed for the Man City group. They gave him his debut age 14 years old. I think is he playing?
That young American kid.
Yeah, is he playing for Philadelphia or something or New York? He's supposed to be pretty good though.
I mean, if he's been signed by City at that age, he definitely has something.
Yeah. I was going to say there must be something about him.
Not fast with a nut boson. Isn't brilliant.
Harvey Elliott on the ball goes for a go. I think that's a corner though.
No. Goal kick.
Yeah, playing for new contracts and new clubs. You could be right, John. Sad but true. Because
this ref is shambolic.
Yeah, Jota is actually a rat. He is so dirty. I remember another game he played against us. He was so filthy. I know what you mean, Chips. And you know, it's a bit sad when you've got a player who's got that much talent and they still resort to being like that.
I want to know what is on Arnslot's head. That can't be natural perspiration. That's 100%.
Like, he is so fucking dope.
It does look like baby oil, doesn't it?
Ridiculous.
Maybe.
It is so shiny. Yeah, he's been to the same Adama Traore baby oil clinic for sure. They probably got the same agent.
He's going to polish the Premier League trophy, whatever he fucking puts on his head at the end of the season.
Ref going down into the championship with us, I reckon, says Chips. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Sadly. The pace has been taken out of the game as we had some open minutes before. It's gone back to being a bit more just mainly Liverpool on the attack, slowly and methodically trying to work their way through. Doing pretty well.
Yeah, we had a good few minutes, but it's reverted to type. I think he needs to make some more subs though. I mean, the last subs he made were good there.
Yeah, get Manga on. Manga madness, baby. It is time. Ooh.
We're playing really well right now. Definitely, it's easy. I understand why you're calling for more subs, but like for how we're playing right now, and if we sub someone on and we concede, everyone's going to be like, "Oh, he's an idiot." You're damned if you do and don't. To be fair, like it must be difficult.
Yeah, no, I think to be fair, Luke, I think no matter what happens to score today, you'd probably say it's been fairly reasonable all round.
Yep.
It's like today's not the reason we're going down. Put it that way, right?
But I can see a lot to be proud about. I'm looking forward to this post-match, although we've still got another 15 plus minutes to go.
Set piece. Simicast of the corner, but Ndidi off the post. Oh my god! All right, well that was there. But it's gone in. And that's it.
And he throws the.
You
throws
fucking
away the
smart ass. Oh, I hate that. I want someone.
And it's fucking Trent Alexander-Arnold. Sad but true. Just update the scores.
What happened there, man?
Leicester players protesting, but that looks it. Just watch this back again. Is it going to stand? Looks like it is. Why is the ref not celebrating with his club?
He's fucking off to go give Trent Alexander a back rub.
Oh my god, Luke Thomas gets killed by Hermansen.
Well, you got to take him out there. Great finish there.
It was Hermansen that leveled Cody.
No, it's Thomas who's been leveled with the ground.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
And I think that's it, unfortunately, lads.
Get Manga on now. Now we can enjoy the Manga match.
Yeah. You can't say, though, that Liverpool haven't deserved to score. They've been in yet.
Gives a bit of Arsenal game vibes, right? When we lost to Arsenal 2-0 at home.
Yeah. About 15 minutes left to try and get an equaliser. Otherwise, it's championship football next season. Well, it's going to be championship football regardless, but of course, it's going to be the last season that we'll see Trent in the Premier League. What do you make of that move?
Who knows?
Where's he going? Real Madrid.
Yeah, signed on the free. That's where they scored. Thomas couldn't admit Aura while on the floor. Terrible play by Hermanson. I think so. Yeah, and even though we know we're relegated, it hurts to hear it officially. Of course it has. Of course it will. And ball out to Salah now. I think they'll probably score a second now because we'll probably push up trying to get something. Oof. I'll tell you what, they don't have their scoring boots on today, do they? 0 shots on target from Leicester. Yeah, that's Ruud van Nistelrooy's football fiat. That was good by Salah. Great hang-up cross there. Yeah, straight back down. Straight back down, Leicester City. It's so awful, isn't it? I never felt we would be this poor.
It's crazy. Like, I've mentioned this a few times in the group chat, but like when you and I and Neil did the post-match like review, like at the end of last season, like the level of enthusiasm and like optimism for the next season was like sky high. And just to compare like how we felt at that moment and what was to come next, and then where we are right now at the end of the season is like so fucking depressing, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Was actually talking about your take earlier. The Vestergaard stuff didn't age well. Yep, it aged like milk. And don't you worry, we will own our accountability and we'll talk about what we thought. Championship ain't bad anyway. Do you know what? I had fun down there, but I think the depressing thing is that it's me and Luke say this all the time, but there was one point where it was so optimistic to be a Leicester fan, and it's hard to see the next 5 years being particularly good. Points deduction would have given us an excuse to go down. This is pure embarrassment. Bang on, Matt. That's what I think is worse. Did Trent get a yellow? Yes, he did. Gutted, embarrassed, and angry, says Neil. Totally agree with you. Impressed by Thomas? Yeah, he had good stuff. Roll on the championship and better league anyway. Oh, Liverpool here for 2. Salah? No, blocked. Cody blocks it and keeps it out. Indeed, he puts it out for a corner. How was that Daka goal not given? Can someone tell me? I don't know. I believe it's because it went out of play is what they're saying. So they don't even consider it a foul. Season ended when we got Cooper in. Good job, board. Yeah, I think that's my feeling too. But you got to say Van Nistelrooy has been pants. It was a push on a goalkeeper, says Michael Shaw. Okay, that's what they gave it for. Foul on Allison. It didn't look like one. If that's true, I think VAR, if that is honestly what they're saying, that's pretty rancid. Bilal with the kick out. Yeah, exactly. Push on a goalkeeper, my effing arse. Game ain't over yet, boys. Let's hope not. Believe it or not, I believe that if we do get relegated, Locks will actually call into the show just to probably either cry with us or laugh, depending on how drunk he is based on his holiday. Doc, it's gone quiet because it's sinking in.
My allergies are killing me. I don't know what's happening, man. I'm constantly muting because I'm sneezing.
Daniel O'Connor, tinfoil hat on, but I genuinely think they've given Liverpool the title as an apology before sweeping 115 charges under the rug. Arsenal next season. Heard it here first. Do you know what? I don't know if they've necessarily done that, but I will say this to you. In the past, it always used to make me laugh, the Everton fans, because they always used to be like, the Premier League is rigged and there's all this sort of conspiracy. And I always used to think, they're just so bitter. But do you know what? I actually think I owe you guys an apology, because the more that you watch the Premier League, the more you realise It is well dodgy. Oh, hang on a minute. Mavadidi with the ball in the box.
Yeah. Mavadidi back in.
Ball cross. Oh, that was one or not. That could have been it. That was a really good chance, Mavadidi. That was good football. Yeah, what I realised, and I didn't realise this at the time, is that actually when the Premier League was started, it was actually kind of 6 teams that pushed for it extensively. And it actually wasn't the big 6 as you know it now, but it was some of them. But I believe Aston Villa were also involved. Everton weren't they? It might have been Forest or someone like that. Anyway, there's 6 teams that really pushed for it. And yeah, you definitely see that certain decisions do. Oh, indeed, he's come off. And Ricardo as well. And who's he bringing on instead? He's brought on Ollie, Skip, and James Justin. I mean, to be fair, like those players are tired. They've had good games. Mavadidi looks like he's got cramp. I think he might have to come off. Is top of the game by any chance? That is a good question, Matt. Do you know what? Let me ask our team in the grounds. They'll tell us. Wouldn't surprise me if he's not. Didn't see any footage of him pre-game. I don't even remember the last time we got relegated, but there was this hideous tweet where, oh, Top is at the game. Yeah, Top and Rudkin at the game. Top is actually laughing.
Yeah, mentioning John Rudkin as well.
All the fans looking very glum.
I don't see why they're glum. This is what we expected when we showed up today, right? I have to go get a charger as well. My PC is minutes away from dying. If Mavadidi gets taken off, we have to put on Monga here just to have some joy for the next 5 minutes.
So he does. Mavadidi's going off. Top's giving him a round of applause. Peaches. I don't know if corrupt, but there are certain decisions that are and some that are not. Wow, Monga is coming on. Good for him. Go on, Monga. Keep us in from going down. Now, Peaches, I would go as far as saying I think there is genuine corruption. Obviously, you know, you had things like we won the league, and the refs even said that the year that we won the league, they were kind of being a bit favourable towards us. So they probably do have an agenda at some points, but they, as you say, they definitely favour some teams over others. I think that's like not even up for dispute. Trent celebrated like he won the World Cup final. Have some shame, mate. Exactly.
Have some shame, mate. It's only Leicester.
What, Luke? What were you doing when you were 15, mate?
You know what I was doing.
Yeah, I was going to say. You were going to say it, but well, Jeremy Monga might not be having a shag, but he might be shagging the Scousers, depending on the. I wonder if he's going to go left wing or right wing, Jeremy Monga. No, it looks like he's going left wing. Okay, I do believe he does play there sometimes for the under 21s, not always. The Premier League was Sir Philip Carter's idea, who was Everton chairman. Maybe instead of trying to see Everton for building a stadium, he's gone for shitty.
This does still feel like the game, and we could just get a little like a moment our way, and we could equalize. But we're not going to be stealing all 3 points today, are we?
I mean, the thing is, if you look at the XG and stuff, Liverpool have
instantly taking on Trent. He does. Does he beat him? Surely not.
Go on, Jeremy. What? He's done himself.
He was nervous.
He was. And now Liverpool on the break.
The Trent Alexander-Arnold ball. And now it's Mohamed Salah on the ball into Javi Elliott. And they turn around and they can just play around with it for a few minutes. No need to rush.
I hope you lads are prepared for the comment shitstorm that's going to go our way, because you know how many we're going to get raided for being relegated. The only thing I can hope is because not many other teams are playing, there might not be so many fan channels on, because you can bet if this was like 5:30 on a Saturday, Leeds, Forest, Derby, Coventry, they'd be out.
I'm so ready for it. I'm so ready for this invasion. Don't worry.
Out in force.
Be glad I'm back.
Yeah.
It will be fun. It'll be fun. We'll enjoy it. I would like if my allergies could turn down a bit. That's been the most annoying part about today, actually. Yes, it's a free kick for sure. As James Justin likes a hug from Luis Diaz.
I've just put the match ratings link in the comments. I don't think anyone will really be that interested in doing it, given that we're going to get relegated. But if you want to and give the referee a 1 out of 10, you're welcome. You can fit it in there. We're not going to go through them, but what we are trying to do is to just have at the end of the season get an average for like see which was our lowest scored player. What is your prediction for our lowest scored player this season, by the way?
Yannick Vestergaard, maybe?
Yeah, I think it could be FaZe, to be honest.
Yeah, FaZe too. Our generally highest has to be
Referee has a finger off his ass.
Herman's feeling something in his stomach here.
That's
it's probably called guilt for being relegated.
You can't put that on him, man. Not his fault. Not his fault.
How much do you genuinely think we're going to get for Madsen Manson?
30 to
40 million. Yeah.
Criminal to get anything less than that.
The thing is goalkeepers don't normally go for as much as people think that they do.
I think a goalkeeper good at his feet and an amazing shot stopper the caliber of him for his age, I think 100% warrants minimum 60 million.
Why the long faces? I told you, I knew Wolfie would be around. Of course he would. He's literally been waiting for this moment for donkeys. Wolfie noticed that Locks isn't around today. That's all I'm saying.
That's like a ball high. We could get something here. The pass, though, is inaccurate on the way back, and Liverpool able to maintain control at 4 now as they are forced to kick it long. We win a throw high up the pitch. If we get a draw, are we safe for another few days?
Yes.
No.
Conflicting reports.
Haven't watched the game. How we played, lads? Liverpool have dominated it. We haven't been awful, to be honest, but they were more than deserved their goal. We had very little attacking threat, although we did have some chances. Here we go. Oh. But I mean, basically, we haven't gone down because of today, right? We've gone down for the season.
Yeah. Fast now.
Locks is a fair weather fan. Now, he might be on later. Was all right. Thomas, Manson, Mavididi were the standouts. Yeah, Luke Thomas had a good game, I have to say. No, we actually have to win. Okay, so the draw doesn't even keep us up there.
Luke Thomas taking the long throw in. Let's see if we can shoot our way to something. 7 minutes of added time. You know what? We take it. That's 7 more minutes of Monka madness.
We need 2 goals, though. Luke, there you go. That's the link if you want the match ratings.
Thank you, sir.
I don't want to do match ratings, man. A long throw is not a long throw. Instead, James Justin is on the ball. He could go for the cross, and he will. That seems all right aim towards Jeremy Monka, but it's too long, and that's 2 more minutes wasted.
For me, I think unsurprisingly, since Mavididi and Ricardo, and to a lesser extent Ndidi have gone off, we've looked worse. But I mean, they were tired. I don't actually blame the Rude for subbing them. I think it's got to keep it fresh. Man, that's brutal for Jerry Monga, though. You get to play against Liverpool, but you're playing in the countdown. It's on, lads. Yeah, we get to play the time we go down. Daka bicycle kick incoming. I think the only time you do a bicycle kick is if he actually kicked a bicycle outside the ground. I don't think he would. Will you sack Rude before our match? Can only hope so. Don't know, though. One job, lads, to beat the Shites. Tough job, though. Joking. Daka is a wanker. Predictions for the first game of the season. That's a good one. I'll go Bristol City away, which would be a tough game, actually. They've improved a lot this season.
Yeah, they're no longer the just perennial 12.
Yeah.
We're trying to build up from the back here. It's Liverpool's got in the defensive formation. A long ball from Connor Cody finds Bonanate, who with Skip attacking in the half space. A poor first touch, though, takes out of the tempo, but he wins a free kick. Something could be gained. It's around the same place. We got the equalizer against Brighton.
Man, that's pretty bad though to get relegated with 5 games to go. That's shocking, really.
Yeah, at least with that top
Yeah,
left.
top does need to make some serious choices. Jay Racer, Birmingham away. That wow. Do you know what? I've got a feeling that probably wouldn't be the first game of the season, just because that might be considered derby, and they sometimes move those games around. Maybe not though, but it is quite far away. But for example, you'll never see like Arsenal versus Spurs on the last game of the season. They don't allow stuff like that usually.
I remember we had first game of the season in the Championship against Coventry, the 2-1.
Good stuff, JC. Whichever league will be, I'll follow you over land and sea. The blue and white for me. So sing up, sing my city. Yeah. Cov or Wrexham at home?
Cov.
I'd love to thrash Wrexham because, no offense, all these glory boys, some of which might be in this chat right now, jumping on the Wrexham bandwagon for essentially moneyballing their way up the league, need to be put in their place, in my opinion. Yeah, I agree with this. Top and Rudkin sat there giggling 5 minutes before relegation. That is a poor sight to see. How big of a deduction do you receive next season? We don't know yet. Yeah. Well, this is an interesting one. Careful what you wish for. Daesh is still out of work. Let me tell you, there's a lot of Leicester fans that want to see Daesh in. I'm not one of them, but honestly, a lot would want to see him in. We got quite an older fan base. Yeah, Wrexham, the most unbearable club in '92. I somewhat agree, because it's all fake. It's fake news. Big Sam is free. Nigel Pearson is free as well, believe it or not. That's a come on, Leicester, get a goal back at least. How many of these? Do you know what? Luke has actually been fairly civilized today, and I think it's because, honestly, in this game, we haven't actually been too bad. It's like, yeah, we've got beaten, but these are the league champions, and they've proved the reason why. But we've not embarrassed ourselves at all today. On another day, we even could have got a point.
Yeah,
Luke will be using these in the season review that we do at the end of the season. Now that will be an X-rated show, let me tell you. He's given up like the rest of us. He has, but like I say, I mean, honestly, today I don't think you can even be that angry at anyone. Like, has anyone really put in a stinker today? Even Cody and FaZe have been all right today.
Yeah,
Samare, he's not been awful. No one's really been like horrendous. I mean, to be honest, if you probably the worst player was Vardy, and mainly just because he didn't touch the ball and he was slow, you know.
Would
FaZe
you
in
say
the
that?
diagonals trying to find Monga. It's gone on for a throat. Rooney is available, good God.
Would you
Yeah,
say
now the
Bilal's
season
been
over, it's time to
disappointing?
sack Rude and prepare for next season. I mean, look, I actually wouldn't be against that and just let King or Brian Barry Murphy have it till the end of the season.
Oh, Oliver Skip now in the
Comes
half.
to Skip. Skip
to get
the
in.
cross. He's going to go down. He might get a shot away.
It's about not two shoots.
Oh, he's lashed at it again. You know, he's had 2 half-decent chances. So Rod, I'm guessing you're an Everton fan. You say Connie was excellent for us, but how come you didn't pick him up then? Because I'll be honest with you, we are not fans of Cody on this channel. I think he's a better podcaster than he is a footballer. Would Top even consider Pearson with that Thai scandal thing? Well, they gave him the job at Leuven, if you remember, but he didn't work out there either. Yeah, Ruud van Nistelrooy needs to leave after this match. Be interesting to see if he does or he doesn't. DF will be free. Is that Daniel Fark? I personally don't rate him. I've got to say Daniel Fark. No attacking threats. No, but I mean, it's... I would say it is sad, though, that for a team that has to win to have any chance, we've actually... other than a few half chances from Buonanotte. I'd be happy for Jonathan King to take charge.
I will say we scored a goal, though, but disallowed.
Yeah. I think Connor Cody on blue tinted glasses would just get ripped to pieces by certain people. One of those word salad people. That said, we were lucky enough to have Ian Hume, the ex-Leicester City striker, on the channel a few months back. He was really nice, really interesting to speak to him. But, you know, he was actually in a team that got relegated to League One, but he put in a lot more fight than some of these players, let me tell you.
as the referee is, about to blow for full time, we can wave away to the Premier League. 5 games slow-mo, as tourists, you can say. Because, our fate is all but sealed as Jeremy Manga.
Go on, Jeremy. Oh,
Gets on the ball, but Trent Alexander-Arnold.
How some of the players, what sort of shift are they going to put in on once it's guaranteed that we're relegated? It'll be really interesting to see.
and that's it, guys. Game's ended. And there you go. There's the screenshot you wanted. Oh my God. Van Nistelrooy is even smiling. I'm not making it up. Trent Alexander-Arnold wins it for Liverpool. And they deserve to win. They had a lot of XG. Leicester barely any attacking threat in this game. It wasn't the worst things. Okay, I'm guessing all the good while it lasted. Well, proper footy. Here we come. He's smiling because he's getting sacked. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised, actually, if he's just looking forward to it. Oh, we even cut the footage, guys. We're just so upset with you don't want to see the aftermath. Put it on. I've got a feeling a lot will be coming out. I'm not sure if Locke's going to do it. So, guys.
I'll give updates if anything exciting happens. Rude just saying hi to Harvey Elliott and the Leicester players. Thought fast in disbelief, and the only one really looking sad about this I've seen so far in the video is El Kanoush, who sat down and with nothing really in his eyes looked sad. He's now up saying hi to Arne Slot and a few other players saying good game. And
do you mind shooting it quickly, just in the other one? Before you do that, though, let's come on to you, Luke. Then go on. It's official, guys. We knew it was. We thought this would be relegation day. Luke's made his return, and your present from Leicester City has been relegation. It's finished 1-0 to Liverpool at the King Power. A fairly decent display, very little attacking threat, but it's been coming for a long time now. And with 5 games to go, we are relegated. So, Luke, tell me what's going through your mind right now.
I'm past angry at this point. Obviously, as I've mentioned many times, I'm obviously gutted. I'm very, very bummed out about where we were, like I said earlier, at the end of last season and where we are now. It's unbelievable. If for people that weren't around earlier, I think we're going to find out a lot about Top over the next 6 months. We had an internal review, right? Fair enough. We probably got players in. We got them in. Great. It was really good how we got all the players out of the doors as well. But then to go from that, do your internal review, and then do what you've done this season. And again, like I mentioned, no contingency plan, putting all your eggs in one basket for Potter. It doesn't work out. Then you go for what's available. And as an orc, look how that panned out. You're putting $25 million in Skip. We've had the oldest conversation in the book, guys. It's really, really disappointing. If Top comes out and just clears house and we put a decent manager, we're able to, nick the market and pull another trump card out his ass, awesome.
Dark, talk to me. Down again. Pathetic group of players. Tony sums it up. Another day. Same crap. No points. No goals at home for 5 months. And John asks, have we been officially relegated? Yes, we are down. That's 2 relegations in 3 years. Talk to me. What's going through your mind right now?
I don't feel much. I think a lot of the anger and frustration have come out over these past few months, right? It's what I, before the season began, described as probably the most important season I can remember as a Leicester supporter in terms of where we'll find ourselves in 5 to 10 years' time. This relegation wasn't inevitable. We definitely had chances of staying up, but from the minute we went into becoming a Premier League club again, it felt like every decision we made were working against the ultimate goal we had of staying up. I think Luke put it pretty well with some of the key decisions, right? But not fighting harder to let Enzo stay, then still extending the contract of the players Enzo wanted, who wasn't useful under the new system, going a completely different direction, spending on players who haven't improved as much, except for really El Kanoush, I want to say, who has been one of our better players this season. Not playing our best players in the beginning under Cooper. Fatah was out of the team, Bilal Kanoush was out of the team, Ricky was out of the team. And I think one of the few things you can give credit for was sacking Cooper at the right time, but with all the options we had on the market, we went for the most inexperienced one who wasn't able to do much. We've had, you can look at a million reasons, but I don't know if we go straight back up. That's how I felt last time. I was devastated when we got relegated last time, but I knew in my heart as soon as I stepped out of the chair after watching the game that we'd be going straight back up. And this time, I don't have that feeling.
Yeah, interesting comments here. The board got way too comfortable and let everything crumble. Totally agree with you. And judging by how cozy Top and Rudkin were, he'll still be in place next season. Rudkin will be for sure. It looks like it. And I got to agree with some of these comments, right? So Paul Stevenson says, has been watching the game on Brazilian Global Box, and the Brazilian commentator said it was strange that Rudkin was laughing. Yeah, it's so weird. They looked happy. They couldn't even fake being sad. And from Brigham here, saying again, Rude was smiling and laughing at the end of the game. Pathetic, screwed us over. I think with Rude, I understand it a bit because he's probably just relieved that it's over. I'm guessing he is going to go tonight. I really hope he does if he's going to be doing that. But I do agree with you guys. Like that's really shocking that they're doing that. And I agree with you, Dorco. Relegated with 15 points to play for, shambolic. This is one of the worst times that we've done for him. And come back to you, Luke. What's going through your mind with some of these things? Like, what do you think of those guys? Like, what is their reaction? Have they just completely they've misread the room, but what do you think is going through their head?
That's what scares me. If Top's not like looking upset and he's smiling, he's laughing away at Rudkin, one, A, Rudkin's job is safe, and B, Top clearly doesn't care that he's completely just dragged his father's legacy over hot coals and essentially Rudkin's taken a piss on him. Like, it's awful to see. It really, really scares me of what's to come ahead. As for the comments about Ruud van Nistelrooy, yeah, he's a complete fuckwit. We all know it. Like, I think he was just itching to just take a job and he's just taking it for the hell of it. Like, I don't think it was. And Cooper wasn't sacked at the right time either. He was sacked after the international break.
I agree.
So it's just clusterfuck after clusterfuck. And then you mentioned earlier as well that like, oh, maybe we had relegation in mind. And that's why we bought the likes of Bobby Dekova-Reid and Jordan Ayew. But then why did we spend in the same hand? And why did you spend 25 million Oliver Skip? There's been a lot of seriously questionable decisions. I do not feel optimistic. I agree with Duck. I don't think we come back up for a long time. I think we're fucked.
Well, don't worry, Luke. You can look forward to it because according to the official Twitter, today's result means our place in the 25-26 championship has been confirmed. Woo! Let's go. And you know that they had that tweet ready to go. How sad is that?
I'd like to add to that shortly, right? I think I'm someone who's maybe been King Power in. I think what was achieved under Vishai was obviously incredible, right? And gave us some great years. But I'm at the point now that if Top now with this 2 relegation in 3 years doesn't change something seriously, and not just an internal review that leads to nothing, but actual change, if it's sacking Rudkin, completely changing the top structure of the club in terms of maybe Rudkin's position is minimized and we hire some actual competent people to carry out the important business. If there is no wholesale change like that, I think my belief in King Power has lost the final bit of credibility I've been holding on hope for, that they at the very least had the best interest of the club available. One thing is Ruud laughing when or not laughing, but smiling when relegation is sealed. I do agree that he knows he's probably done here, and he's relieved that it's done. But but to see Rudkin and Top, the guys who's supposed to turn this around now, sitting there laughing and joking 10 minutes before our fate is sealed, is gut wrenching.
Yeah, Just Joe, I agree with you. Where is Locks? It's very coincidental that Locks is on holiday this week. The game that we get relegated, but that's all he is. He's enjoying some time off with his missus whilst the rest of us deal with another relegation. That's 2 and 3. Better luck to you next year. Hopefully you put up a better effort than we do. Rude, top 5 wankers of all time. And don't you worry, I have got the turtleneck ready to be ripped up and burnt for as soon as he goes. What an atrocious appointment he is. Where did you think it went wrong for Ruud? Because coming to you, Luke, I have to say, to give you credit, I remember even after 3 or 4 games, you were really quite anti Van Nistelrooy. And I could see where you were coming from, but I think it's steady on, mate. You know what I mean? He's not even got through the door. He's got no signings. He's got a game every 3 days. I think you're being really harsh. But do you know what? Thinking about it, like, you called it. You called it very early on, as you did with Cooper. So what was it that initially... because remember we had that new manager bounce. What was it, if you can recall, that was scaring you where you thought, no, he just doesn't get it?
The centre-backs, the centre-backs, and then the lack of our build-up play really, really scared me. It was weird because it looked like we slightly had it building for the back slightly, but a bit higher up with like a mid-block, but then that just completely disappeared. We're all banging up mid-block, and then he just changed the system up another again 2 or 3 times with 4-2-3-1. 5-3-2. It was just, it changed too much, but like the build up, it just looked like it was a player, like a connecting It was just like, if you look at like a Connect 4 or something, like the third out of the four was just missing. I don't know how to explain it else, but like there was and the players that he was selecting as well, there was a lot of really, really alarming things. And then players were actually regressing and getting worse. And we had people on the ascendancy like Buenote were pissed his confidence away. And look at him today, he's skying shots and ruining chances. And then he's starting to rub players the wrong way as well. Sorry.
No, I'm pretty agree. You're right. You were questioning the team selection pretty early on, and I think that's quite right. Especially as in his first game, he started Bilal, Buonanotte. He had McAteer instead of Mavididi. That was a bit dodgy. I mean, you see at the end, I think Mavididi was one of our better players today. Matt's heading off, but thanks for a good stream. Yeah, look, thank you guys. Just want to say as well is that I think for all of you, we've said this quite a few times. It's been such a disastrous season. But in terms of mental health, blue tinted glasses has actually been quite entertaining for what has been absolutely awful. There's no joy to be had here. How about you, Duck? Where for you did you really think it was game over? Because cast your mind back when we did make the change and we were still feeling pretty positive. Obviously, we saw defeat after defeat. What was the turning point for you?
I think the January transfer window, maybe. I think Ruud lost a bit of belief there himself. I thought the football we played initially when he came in wasn't bad. I still, in the general system and what he wants to do, I do like many parts of it. I think he's had issue with selecting the right personnel. I think he's also been let down in the transfer window, right? He got a backup right back to help cover while Ricardo was out. That's it. He needed 50, 60, 70 million quid chucked at 3 big star signings. I think the best football we played this season for a few periods were under Ruud. Like, think back to the Manchester City game, right? We played a great game there. And there were other games under him. We've had some luck go against us. The Fatawu injury is devastating. I think the season could have been a bit different with him.
Well, he wasn't even being used at the time, though, was he?
No. But it was just when Ruud came in, who I was sure would have used him. Ruud never got a game with Fatawu. Ruud came in just as Ricky also got injured for 5 months, right? Who I think, as we saw today, would have, had he been more fit, played an instrumental part. So I'm not putting it all on Ruud, but I think Ruud has definitely not made his situation better. Changing to the 5-back position and sticking with it despite seeing how little it did for us. Not playing players who actually wanted to work for the badge, like Caleb Okoli more. Mavididi for a long period of time as well. There are many, many things you can look at here, but it is.
Wow, John Percy's got an article. Okay, let's bring that up. I'll work on that in the meantime. I'll hand over to you, Luke, if you don't mind. Just give me some comments while I bring the Percy bomber up.
Mate, I think what really wound me up as well was the persistence of playing Ayew as well. That was when I really started turning on Ruud, and the fact that he played Danny Ward a second time as well, like, tipped me over the edge before that game started. I've been here too many times. I don't need this shit. Michael, Enzo Flakanov didn't help. To be honest with you, mate, I completely agree. But like, you can't blame Ruud for doing Ruud. You can't blame Enzo for doing what he did. But what's worse is that we did have a contingency plan. This again is one of the biggest talking points, in my opinion, of what's really seriously wrong with this club. It feels like we're making spare of the moment decisions with the appointment of managers and not sticking to a style of play. And people complain, say, "Oh, don't use it doesn't really matter about style of play, and it just matters about getting results." I disagree. It's unfortunate whether you like to hear it or not, and it's the whole argument, the whole dinosaur thing. It's the way the football's going. And in my opinion, if we've got people in our youth academy playing a certain way, you want them to slot when they come up. You want to, again, it's a conversation for another time, but yeah.
Okay, so I can't obviously share this, but I can read some of this stuff out here. So some interesting stuff that he was saying. So yeah, it's interesting that the article has literally come out as soon as I
mean, he knew we were going down, right? I assume so, at the very least.
He did, but that to me is really, really kind of disgusting. It sums everything up, why they're laughing, like they had everything ready. I think you can sort of see that there are going to be some action. So yeah, Van Nistelrooy is set for crunch talks. Players face wage cuts of 35%. That looks like it was baked into the contract.
Yes.
Vestergaard in fresh commute row. Come to you for some breaking stuff on their Duck. And the board under huge scrutiny. So just going to remove that from a stage in a moment. Talk to me. I'll bring up some more. But what's your initial thoughts of that? I mean, surely Van Nistelrooy's gone after that. It can't even be a debate.
I mean, I think I said it a few months ago, right? I'd be happy not to see Yannick Vestergaard ever play in a Leicester shirt again. I love seeing him for the national team, where he gives it his all, and he actually somewhat knows how to play football most of the time. But he's been a disgrace except for that 1 year under Leicester. It was so beautiful to see his redemption story, because he was treated harshly in the beginning, but it's clear that there were reasons for that, right? And in the Premier League, he didn't have the level. It's good though to hear that the board is under heavy scrutiny, and that's being recognized as well. The more of that gets publicized, the better. I think I saw a tweet about some managers being mentioned that our board is big admirers, and luckily they all sound like fine additions, most of them at the very least. But I mean, I thought we had some good managers lined up after Enzo as well, but sadly we went with the worst possible choice, right? So until the right man has come through the door, I won't look too much into that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll read some stuff. I've got ChatGPT here to summarize, so that means we're not reading the article directly. Leicester City's relegation from the Premier League in the 2014-15 season marks a significant downturn for the club just 9 years after their historic title win. This season was fraught with challenges both on and off the pitch, managerial changes and on-field struggles. The club began the season under Steve Cooper, who was dismissed in 24 due to poor performance, yada yada. Leicester enjoyed a dismal run, enduring 13 defeats in 14 games, now 14 in 15, and a record-setting streak of 8 consecutive home matches without scoring. That's now 9. A 3-0 home defeat to Newcastle United epitomised their struggles, with the team lacking a lack of cohesion and resilience. Off-field turmoil and financial woes. Internally, the club faced significant unrest. There were reports of dressing room dissent, with players expressing dissatisfaction over training methods and managerial decisions. Financially, Leicester grappled with Premier League's PSR rules, yada yada, fan discontent in the organisation. Well, just to get there, the conclusion: Leicester City's relegation is the culmination of a season played by managerial instability, on-field inadequacies, financial constraints, and organisational discord. Sounds great. I'm just gonna Planet Earth. By the way, if you're having a go at a 15-year-old playing against Trent Alexander-Arnold, you need to give your head a wobble.
Get a grip, man. I mean, he
sounds like John Rodkin personified there. I'm just going to bring up some more stuff. I'll work on this in the background. What's your first course of action then? What would you like to see?
Who, me?
Yeah. What would you think?
I want a press conference with, I don't care what language it's in, I just want Top to come out and go full scorched earth. I want him to publicly sack Ruud van Nistelrooy, and then I also want him to sack the complete board. And absolutely, I will maybe get some faith in him again. If he doesn't, which is clearly evident because he's smiling, everyone's smiling, everyone thinks it's a fucking joke, then, mate, just sell the club and move on. It is like fair play, like Nepo baby, whatever you want to call him. I'm sure your heart's in the right place, mate, but you are not your father. And if you're going to smile and laugh after your second relegation in 3 years and allowing lunatics to run the asylum in terms of John Rudkin and people fucking scoring their own homework and marking their own homework, that's fucked, bro.
I sadly can't send a picture of it or anything, but having kept my eye on what they managed to show from the ground after the game, it looks like the stream I'm watching on now has gone away from talking about Leicester's relegation and more looking at the run-in for Arsenal. But Top was clapping the players off, and he did look close to teary. You could definitely feel he felt emotional. But I mean, that's the right emotion to feel, right? But you're the one who's caused this mess. And when you 10 minutes before were laughing when you're with your best mate about destroying your club, it's hard to really feel empathy for him as just being shown more pictures now from the ground. This might not be a right live, but it's Trent clapping off the players as the ground at that point of time still surprisingly full.
Yeah, so just reading some more from this article. Leicester's players face a pay cuts of a minimum of 35%. That's baked into the contract. Unsurprisingly, he says Mads Hermansen and Bilal Elkanous could be sold. So I'm guessing that we are going to see both of them goodbye. And that makes me sad. I think Hermansen, we knew that he was going to go. But
that was regardless of if we stayed up or not. He would have always gone.
Kanous, though?
Let's see. They say
it's basically confirming he will be sold. And the reason I just bring this up is just because, especially when you're playing against teams that are going to have a deep block all year, every single game, a player like him can literally get you out of the division, right? He's got creativity. And it's like, if he's not in the team, like who in our team has creativity?
Fatawu.
As a winger, but you know what I mean in terms of like a schemer, that guy that can make that killer pass.
I think that's something we could look at, right? Heading into the transfer window, if he's being sold and we're doing the business before the embargo comes in or whatever happens there, someone has to pull something out their ass, right? I mean, to get someone. I mean, is there someone on a free contract maybe? What about Ilias Chair? Isn't his contract running out with the QPR?
I think Elias Chair is in the same bracket as what's his name that we didn't sign from Coventry. His name's on the tip of my tongue. He went to
Callum O'Hare went Sheffield United.
what's the name of the lad at Coventry that went to I think it was Sheffield.
Yeah,
Same
Callum
thing,
O'Hare.
same deal. Callum O'Hare, thank you. Yeah, two lads that are 26, haven't cut it out, but never been to the Premier League once. They're never going to make it. They're just going to be.
No. But it's the championship, right? If they could help us get us back up, and then we'd be out of the embargo, and we could buy someone actually good again. I think it's more if we are on an embargo, he would be a very good option. That was my lovely little dog Charlie barking. I think he might want to go for a walk soon. He's been a bit inactive today, so I'll do that within reason to be fair time.
I still think that's short-sighted, and again, we're going to have to pay a premium to get him, and we now face the risk of not going back up to the Premier League.
I mean, I'm talking about free transfer, mate. If we're on that embargo and we have free transfers only available to both of the squad, he could be a decent option, and maybe we'd be overpaying a bit on his wages. But if you're on the free transfers, I don't think you can expect to find long-term solutions, because who would you get that is in a young age able to carry us out of the championship and then stay us up in the Premier League if we're on an embargo? I do agree. If we're not, we have to think more long-term. But sometimes we have to plug a few gaps if push comes to shove as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there a transfer ban waiting for you next year? So as it stands, we have a transfer embargo. So that means we can't make transfers. Any transfer we make has to be ratified by the EFL. And so the EFL will take a look at our wages and go, are you laughing, mate? You cost 80 million and your revenue is 50. So no, you're not allowed to do that. But I think once we make some sales, we probably will. But my expectation is that we won't make signings as fast as we did last time. Some interesting things there. KDH back on loan. He's not coming to the championship. He's too good for that. Ibrahim Mazza would be a Bilal replacement. Even though he's playing in Bundesliga 2, I think it's expected he'll be playing in Bundesliga 1 at minimum, either with his current club or someone else. I thought a transfer embargo meant a registration embargo, ergo no new signings at all. Yeah, that's how it works. But as I say, what tends to happen is that you can make them, but you have to have it agreed with the EFL. And so that's why typically you are able to do loan signings, right? Because you can say, well, look, under the terms of the contract, this isn't going to put us in trouble. But it will mean that permanent signings are more difficult. Just reading this article here in the background, there's some interesting ones. So, now that relegation has been confirmed, Ruud will have talked to the hierarchy. There is no break clause in the contract he signed in November, which runs to June 2027. That's what it says. But I'm guessing that he is probably going to go. It says Russell Martin has admirers at Leicester for an identical style of play, but it might be a tough sell with supporters. At Southampton, Martin lost all 3 of his games against Leicester with an aggregate score of 12-3. Sheffield Wednesday's Danny Roll and former Arsenal midfielder Cesc Fabregas in charge at Serie A club Como also have support. I actually mentioned him when we talked about it. There is some sympathy for Van Nistelrooy in the boardroom. They recognise that many of the players have performed poorly, or their PSR issues meant they could not back him properly in the January transfer window. Still bin him. Van Nistelrooy is regarded as personable with no ego despite his trophy-laden playing career. What do you make of that? Go on, Luke. Come to me first. He's shocked. I've never seen Luke speechless before, but it's happened.
Can you read that out again? That they think that he's got no arrogance or ego. Like, what game was it when he came out and essentially said post game that the players aren't good enough to do what he wants them to do?
Say that again.
What I think it was, I can't remember if it was West Ham or one of the games where he came out and said the players are just not good enough to be able to do what he wants.
Brentford was that one.
Brentford,
yeah.
That completely, it's a load of bullshit. I think he's an arrogant bastard, and like you can see it as well, man. Like he's obviously fallen at what a boy, not say a Coley. Like he's frozen players out that shouldn't have been frozen out. I don't think that at all.
Yeah, some good comments here. Interesting one from Andrew Taylor. Says he saw Ruud in the local pub bragging about his job was safe. I mean, that's harsh to say. He also got caught with a Forest fan, didn't he? That's very sad, but it seems I just don't think he's a fit for our club. Dave Platt says this: why is the official club website saying we've confirmed our place in the championship instead of being honest and saying we are relegated? Still got their heads in the stand. Wake up. That is such a Leicester City move. And I'm guaranteeing you, tomorrow it'll be like a Bank Holiday Monday deals. Get your shirt for the 25-26 season.
Both Monday and Tuesday, right? £10 Tuesday is back, lads.
Yeah. Are we doing player ratings now? We're not going to do them today. I have asked you for them. We're going to keep them for the end of the season. But come on, it's today's not the day for You know the thing. Andrew says, I love Luke. He says it from the heart. Absolutely fantastic. The person to have on your channel. Yep. If we did the match ratings for BTG, he would score highly. Cody doing the post match. What a surprise. Do you know what? He is insufferable for me. I mean, is it just me? I really dislike Connor Cody a lot. What do you think guys?
If he backed it up on the pitch, I wouldn't mind. I think for me, the thing is he hasn't been long enough at the club and had the impact you would have wanted for the money he's on. And for them to be talking a lot of waffle, I'd have a lot more time for someone like Jamie Vardy, who week in, week out goes on the pitch at age 38, fighting for the club, to be saying the things that he did. But Conor Cody's acting like a leader without really taking the responsibility, right? Or having the impact someone of his stature and money should have on our football club. I think it's just not good enough, man.
No, okay.
Yeah, he thinks he's way better than he is. He was touted as being this big voice and a leader and the next captain. It's not eventuated. He's been on the bench. He's quietly featured a lot in a lot of the row of games, stretch of games for Ruud van Nistelrooy. But like for me, like I've seen him give away so many penalties at Leicester and other clubs. Complete brain dead handball that he pulled last week. I don't know why he did that. That was okay. It was ridiculous. But for me, man, I don't even want to see him play next season. If it weren't for the injuries, I would say play Harry Souttar. But at this point, it's a Coley, unfortunately, and Nelson, which I think is exciting. Hopefully, we can keep a Coley. But yeah, for me, mate, Conor Cody giving it large and talking shit podcast like he's this fucking star Premier player. It shits me off.
Yeah, he'd be better off at Wrexham or something. Let's read some more of this stuff. It's quite a scathing article. I quite like this. It says, Foxes never quit. There have been allegations over an absence of fighting spirit, with Leicester the only team in the league with no red cards this season. I did not know that. The only team. Leicester have also faced issues off the field with a PSR, yada, yada, yada. Despite fears over spending and the threat of a points deduction, which was avoided, Leicester did invest more than 60 million in new signings last summer, although that was less than Ipswich and Southampton, but recruitment was patchy. Last summer, there was also a delay in closing many deals. Watford forward Yasser Asprilla, who joined Girona, and Juventus attacking Matteo Sule, who signed for Verona, were 2 targets missed. While much of the attention will be on 20 million outlay on Tottenham midfielder Oliver Skipp, how about Crystal Palace loanee Odsonne Edouard? The French forward has not played since November the 10th after being frozen out by Van Nistelrooy. Again, I thought he was personable. Edouard's calamitous loan perfectly sums up the club's disjointed planning. Yeah, don't worry, Luke, if you got a head off, mate, head off. Once a beacon for recruitment and long-term planning for the likes of Brighton and Brentford, they have now shown how a few lapses can throw the ship off course. There is room for some optimism. While Van Nistelrooy's own position is in doubt, he believes the club's academy should offer some hope for the future. At Eindhoven, he worked with the likes of Xavi Simons, Nono Madueke and Ismail Saibari, and he believes there are some stellar talents coming through at Leicester. Now, that actually is good to hear. Jeremy Monga is regarded as the standout and has already made his first team debut. Chelsea and Manchester City are interested in signing him this summer. Other youngsters include Jake Evans, Bade Aluko, and Henry Cartwright, who we mentioned before, have trained with the first team and are highly regarded. Ben Nelson and Will Aves, both impressing on loan in the Championship at Oxford and Cardiff, respectively, will come into contention. On the other end of the scale, a big decision has to be made on Jamie Vardy. Leicester's greatest signing, he is out of contract this summer and has still scored 7 league goals in a struggling team. He has interest both from clubs here and overseas and still feels he can operate in the Premier League at age of 38. What would you think if you saw Jamie Vardy sign for another Premier League team, by the way?
I'd feel horrible.
Do you know what? I used to think that, but to be honest with you, if he signed for them at this age, I think it would just look comical. I actually wouldn't recommend he did that because I don't think other teams would give him the time of day we did. Well, that's pretty much it from it. Well, I will say this, and this was an interesting thing from Ethan. I hope you join us in the call-in show tomorrow. No Bilal or Hermanson, who's your starting 11 first game of pre-season? Let me start with you, Duck. Who are you going for then in that team if we're missing 2 of our stars?
I mean, you're starting Stelasic in goal. You've got Ricky on the right back. You've got Ben Nelson and Caleb Coley as the 2 centre backs. On left back, you've got James Justin. In the DM position, you've got it would then be, I guess, Oliver Skipp, and I don't think Sumari will be there. So maybe Winks, depending on if we get a new manager, or someone from the academy, Henry Cartwright or Sammy Braybrook might be getting a start there if it is a friendly, right? And for the wingers, you would play Mavididi. Fatau wouldn't be back from injury. So you'd play Will Alves on the right or Jeremy Monga or make Casey McAteer one of those 3. and in the middle, I mean, in this scenario, El Khanouch will be gone, so you would maybe play, I don't know, maybe Michael Golding, or you'd play Will Elvis as the 10, or move someone in there. Might try Mavididi as the 10 maybe, and play both Monga and McAteer, or a combination there. And then up at front, Vardy, I think we should just let him rest now, build his statue, and remember him as the legend he is. And then you're probably playing a Daka up front, or a Jay Givens.
Jordan Ayew.
Jordan Ayew is not a bad shout either, or D. Cordova-Reid.
Yeah. Phil, this must be Luke's alternative account. Please, for the love of everything, can we find a way to get rid of Daka? Utterly useless footballer. I think Luke will agree with you. I mean, look, our options aren't great. You know what? For me, I don't think it's worth thinking about those things just now. I think before that, it's more important to fix some of the other issues, to be honest with you. Like, the manager has got to go. I mean, let's be honest with you, though, Rudkin's not going to go, is he? I think, as you just said there, Luke, the depressing thing is that apparently we were doing this full review to see what went wrong, and they haven't learned anything, have they?
They've learned nothing. The signing's wrong. The manager appointment was wrong. The timings of sackings have been completely wrong. It's the list just goes on, and the wages paid as well. People going on a free still probably. It's been criminally wrong, and it's obviously we can do an absolute 2-hour rant, scathing review of this board. That's a complete joke, but to go to your point in the question before, I'm not going to do a starting 11 now. I don't know who's going to be here, but I will say this: I definitely think there's going to be a massive exodus because of the wages. It is quite scary to think.
Yeah. Rye is asking, what is this fresh Vestergaard story? So I'll give you this. It says, shortly after the 4-0 home defeat by Brentford, the agency of Wout Faes posted a highlights reel of the defender on social media, describing him as a master of anticipation. It included footage from a 4-0 defeat at Everton. You can't make this up. Van Nistelrooy has faced problems within the dressing room. In recent weeks, he had clashed with both Harry Winks and Vestergaard over their commuting from near or in London. So it was those two. We knew it was Winks, but the other one was Yannick. And Yannick is obviously living in London. Leicester's manager asked him to stay overnight for 1 day a week at the club's training ground to aid preparation, and both have declined. Both players have since been excluded from his plan. So that's actually why Vestergaard was left out, him and Winks, because they wouldn't stay at the club for 1 day a week. And on Sunday, less than 2 hours before kickoff, it said that Winks' partner had given... posted a picture on Instagram of the midfielder with their new baby and what appeared to be an Aperol Spritz. Oh my God, it just keeps on going. So that's the story there. Oh, well, look, do you know what? We've got a very special guest. I've got to bring him in. The man, the myth, the legend. I'm not going to pull you out quickly, Duck, if you don't mind. Let's bring him on. Loxy, congratulations. Hello. Happy relegation day. How you doing, mate?
It's a beautiful day, mate. It's a beautiful day for relegation. Yeah, it's sorry if the connection's bad, by the way. Yeah, what a shambles, lads, eh? What a shambles from start to finish. I think this all started when the club lost Enzo and decided to replace him with Steve Cooper. To any of the Forest fans in the chat, I'm sure there's a few right now. It's all Steve Cooper's fault. Well, no, it's not all Steve Cooper's fault. It's the decision to appoint Steve Cooper. That's whose fault it is, and probably Rodkin on top. So, yeah, they just, they had a direction that they wanted to go in as a club, which was obviously the modern football, and they backtracked, right? And they went down Steve Cooper, and then they decided to sack him, and they hired someone who was even worse than Cooper. So, yeah, it's a day that we've known has been coming for weeks and weeks and weeks, and here it is. Championship, eh? Straight back up Leicester City and all that.
I was going to say, if their direction was to take us back down, they found that direction very quickly and efficiently. Well done, Rudkin. Well done, Top. New contract for Rudkin, clearly.
Yeah, fully, mate. Honestly, it's crazy. And I know you've seen it because I've been listening. I know you've seen the video, the photos online of Rodkin and Top laughing about 10 minutes before relegation's confirmed, and I don't know, man. I don't know where they go from here. And you can tell from those images, right, that Rodkin ain't going anywhere. It ain't happening. No. They ain't going to get rid of him. He's going to be there. He's going to be there this time. He's going to be there when the new season starts in late or early August. Yeah, I don't know what they can. I don't know what they can do. They're going to have to get the recruitment bang on. They're going to need a 10 out of 10 window. They're going to need to hope that they can fight off any point deductions and transfer embargoes and things like that. They've got to get the manager appointment right. I've just seen a massive article from John Percy, which
Yeah.
we'll react to on the channel over the next couple of days.
We've just been reading out, but we should do a video on that. What would you make of the timing of that, Locks? It's literally come out sort of 5 minutes after relegation. Everything's been prepared clearly. And have you seen the club on the official site? They haven't even sort of admitted relegation. They just say we've confirmed our place in the championship, Locks. Confirmed it. Get in.
It's like what you'd write if we actually qualified for Champions League those 2 years instead of bottling it. You know what I mean? You would say we have confirmed our place in the Champions League for next season. No, we've confirmed our place in the Championship. So they had that PR stuff already, and John Percy obviously has waited for the perfect time to release his article. I've read something. I don't know if it was from that article. I just read something online about how apparently the board have sympathy for Ruud, and they know it was a hard job, so that'll be interesting if that plays a part in their decision what to do with him. I mean, if we did what Southampton do, we wake up tomorrow morning and he's gone, right? And then we have Andy King for the rest of the season or something like that, or Barry Murphy, whatever. So yeah, we'll see. We've got an interesting few weeks now where we can kind of just like watch Leicester lose it probably every week and with nothing on the line. Although they might start playing now, right? They might start playing now that we're down, and they'll be playing for moves. I mean, Mavididi, by the way, just quickly, Mavididi was really good today again. Luke Thomas, Duck, I'm coming. No, I'm joking.
He had a good game today.
He was good, yeah. But this is what I'm saying. It's like, why is it taken to this point, right? For some of these players to kind of, because don't rewrite history. I know Manny likes to do that. Mavididi's played his part in earlier games this season and was absolutely terrible. So he has started to perform now, which is great to see. So if he stays, that's a bonus for us next season. But yeah, I don't know, mate. We've got a long summer ahead of us. We've got a long summer. And yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Will be really good. Well, Locks, let me leave with this. Dave says being sober while you're away on a holiday is almost as disgusting as buying a Chelsea shirt with Kieran Dewsbury Hall on the back. So that probably says a lot about the Blue Tinted Glasses family. But thank you for joining us. You'll obviously be back soon. And look, I think we should probably leave it there, guys. It is confirmed. We've confirmed our place in the Championship next season. We're relegated. We knew it was coming. For me, I think that Wolves defeat was the one where it seemed pretty inevitable to me. What can we say? Thank you for joining us. We'll still be back. Do join us on the call-in show tomorrow. It'll be me and Manny. We'll be taking your calls. I'd love to hear from all of you. There's a lot to get through. If you ask me, there's actually more questions than there are answers right now. But thank you for joining us. Thank you, Locks, for calling in. Thank you, Duck. Thank you, Luke. A legend as always early in the morning. Locks, the living legend. And, of course, Duck. Take care, and we'll see you next time on Blue Tinted Glasses. Bye-bye.